to have started from a tale about the tomb of an ancient princess from the Jiang clan. It was a dynasty that only existed for a very short time. Carrying endless resentment, the princess was rumored to appear near her tomb every year on the 7th day of the 7th month. Many people claimed they had seen the shadow of a female ghost wearing a deep red wedding dress. She seemed to wander around, searching for someone to take as her husband. However, it was only a story passed down by word of mouth. From what Fang Ning heard, today was the princess' death anniversary, and the yin energy was said to be at its strongest when her spirit returned from the underworld. On this exact day, as a high-ranking elder of the beggar sect, Fang Ning would bring everyone to the princess's tomb to spend the night there. Fang Ning would then work with the cheap hired livestream crew and the audience to witness this special moment. Was the female ghost real or not? Tune into my livestream tonight. I am not asking for anything, but gifts are always welcome. It was only a replayed video on TopTop. The round man wearing chains like Zhu Bajie was Director Wang, the person Fang Ning hired to handle filming and editing. After the promotion video for Fang Ning's livestream was uploaded, it quickly attracted huge attention. In just one day, the views surpassed 1 million. Hearing the news, Fang Ning revealed a satisfied smile and said, "Great job, this cheap crew was truly worth hiring. Haha, today's livestream depends on all of you. Make sure everything is arranged perfectly." Director Wang wiped his sweat and replied, Yes, Mr. Fang Ning, you flatter us. This is our duty." Although he acted calm on the outside, he was actually complaining inside because business had declined, forcing him to accept a live stream job in this remote place full of ghost rumors. Elsewhere, the crew members were chatting among themselves. The mushroom-haired young man on the left said, "Where did the boss get this idea? We only made low-budget short videos before." The guy smoking replied, "Who knows? Stop talking, this place is already giving me chills." Just then, a young man rushed over to Director Wang and reported that the actress felt this place was too deserted. She had something to do, so she would probably arrive a little late. Hearing this, Director Wang immediately became angry. Damn it, she is only a background actress and she is still acting so important. He pointed forward and continued, "Tell her to hurry up. She absolutely cannot affect the live stream." According to the schedule, filming would start at 11:30 at night. It was only 7:30 now, so there were still 4 hours to prepare. The crew was busy arranging all the equipment. Seeing the scene, Fang Ning became excited. This really is a professional crew. My 1,000 yuan was not wasted. Once this live stream is finished, I will definitely double my investment. Whether the princess tomb is real or not, with this atmosphere, a good performance will make me famous. Thinking this, Fang Ning pulled down his hat to cover his face and took a quick nap before the broadcast. The crew continued setting up the sound and lighting systems to make the live streams go smoothly. But only 10 minutes remained before filming started, and the actress still had not appeared. Even more strangely, a figure in a red wedding dress was silently watching them from behind. The Tubang-haired young man reported the situation to Director Wang again. Even after urging her for an hour, they still could not contact the girl. Hearing this, the director angrily said, "Damn it, when I see her, I will not let this go." Since time was running out, Director Wang decided to give the replacement role to the Tubang-haired young man. He was confused by the sudden request. "Huh? I am part of the crew, not an actor." Seeing him hesitate, Director Wang kicked him and shouted, "What are you standing there for? Go change clothes, read the script carefully, and do not ruin my work." But before leaving, the Tubang-haired young man noticed something unusual. A familiar figure appeared on top of the tomb, looking like it had stepped out of a horror movie. Thinking the actress had arrived, the Tubang-haired young man pointed toward the mountainside and said, "Everyone look, I think that actress is here." Meanwhile, Director Wang quickly grabbed the walkie-talkie to contact Fang Ning. Seeing the figure, the mushroom-haired young man was surprised. When did she arrive? She even prepared her own costume. The smoking guy added, "The clothes she is wearing look far more expensive than the ones we prepared." At that moment, Fang Ning walked over from behind and shouted, "Stop standing around. The actress is already in position. Get ready to start filming." Everything was finally ready. The live stream signal was stable, and the plan could officially begin. Fang Ning calmly took off his cap and turned around. A confident smile appeared on his face as he announced the live stream had officially started. The sound system, lighting, and cameras were all perfectly set up. Facing the camera, Fang Ning spoke in his familiar voice. "Hello everyone, this is the Princess Tomb. Anyone who grew up in High City has probably heard the legends about this place. In recent years, mysterious events have appeared all over the world, and this place is no exception. There have been dozens of rumors involving female ghosts here. Without wasting time, let's begin our exploration. As he walked closer to the tomb, he continued telling the story. Her resentment had remained for many years without fading. Every year on the 7th day of the 7th month, she would appear and tell the world about her hidden suffering. At that moment, a crew member quietly picked up a stone. The stone was flicked toward the tomb, causing Fang Ning to instantly change his expression and react like a professional actor. Fang Ning then signaled that everything was still going smoothly. According to the plan, he would approach the actress and let her suddenly appear on camera to create a dramatic moment. Even Fang Ning secretly praised her realistic acting, as if she were a real ghost. On the other side, the Tubang-haired young man kept trying to tell the director something. But Director Wang was focused on the rapidly rising viewer count. It had passed 1 million and even entered the top 10's trending searches. His mind was already filled with thoughts of vacations, gifts, and profits from the contract's revenue share. Just imagining that future was enough to make him excited. The Tubang-haired young man tried to speak again, but the director interrupted. "Go away. Do you not want your salary anymore? How dare you interrupt me now?" After pushing him aside, Director Wang picked up the walkie-talkie and announced, "Everyone pay attention. Midnight is coming soon. Mr. Fang Ning, prepare to move toward the actress. As for the actress, follow the script and hide for now." The lighting assistant muttered, "They are making it sound so serious, but the whole crew only has a few people." Meanwhile, the director started the next scene even though the actress had not responded. Suddenly, a violent gust of wind swept through, making everyone squint in discomfort. The Tubang-haired young man froze with his mouth wide open. The actress's figure that was there moments ago had completely disappeared. Director Wang knocked his head and said, "Nonsense. I sent her the script yesterday. She must be hiding according to the scene." Then he picked up the walkie-talkie. "Mr. Fang Ning, the actress is in position. Move toward the hillside now." Hearing the instruction, Fang Ning faced the camera and said, "That cold wind just now really startled me. I usually do not believe in ghosts, but right now I feel a little uneasy. I am even starting to wonder if the princess's spirit from the past truly exists here." While Fang Ning slowly climbed toward the higher area of the tomb, the Tubang-haired young man kept pulling Director Wang and said, "Director, listen to me first. Can you stop? Everyone is busy right now. If you have something to say it quickly. The actress we contacted earlier just called me. She said she overslept and never came here at all." Hearing this, Director Wang's expression changed instantly, and cold sweat appeared on his face. "She never came? Then who is the person standing on the hillside?" At this moment, the distance between Fang Ning and the figure ahead kept getting closer. From afar, the girl looked strangely gentle and beautiful. When Fang Ning saw her clearly, his face turned pale. He collapsed onto the ground, looking terrified as if he had witnessed something impossible. Countless thoughts rushed through his mind. His eyes widened and cold sweat dripped down as he thought, "This girl is acting too well. I did not even notice when she appeared." "Who are you?" he stammered, his voice trembling uncontrollably. As for Director Wang, he grabbed the Tubang-haired young man by the collar and asked, "The actress we hired really did not come. Then explain who that person on the hillside is." The young man replied in confusion, "How would I know? I tried to tell you earlier, but you refused to listen." Suddenly, a young man's terrified shout caught Director Wang's attention. The cameraman was trembling, staring fixedly at the girl's feet. The mushroom-haired young man quickly handed the tablet to Director Wang to see. In an instant, both the director and the Tubang-haired young man froze in shock. The unbelievable truth was that the actress was not standing on the ground. She was floating in midair. The director stammered, "Did we really encounter a ghost? Is the person on the hillside the princess from the legend? No, that cannot be right. If she's a ghost, how can the camera record her? Then what exactly is she? A special creature or even an alien?" As for Fang Ning, he was almost scared out of his mind because the actress's performance was too realistic. Raising his hand forward, he nervously muttered, "Don't come closer, don't come closer." After a while, he finally calmed himself down and thought, "Is this crew really that professional? From the costume to the white hair, everything was prepared perfectly. My decision to hire them was absolutely right. Now it is my turn to act." Thinking this, he immediately took out a flashlight and pointed it forward. "I am not afraid of you. I grew up under the sunlight and lived through the spring breeze. You are only a ghost. You cannot do anything to me." Seeing this scene, the viewers flooded the chat with comments. Ha ha ha, he is facing a female ghost and still posing like a hero. This streamer is really brave. I knew it, it is definitely just acting. The floating scene must be some kind of prop. Watching Fang Ning continue walking forward, the mushroom-haired young man, Director Wang, and the Twubang-haired young man all widened their eyes. What is wrong with him? The female ghost slowly raised both hands in front of her chest like a zombie. Her fingernails gradually grew longer in a terrifyingly strange way. Director Wang immediately grabbed the walkie-talkie and shouted, "Mr. Fang Ning, stop the live stream now. Slowly move back. We may have really encountered a ghost." At that moment, the mushroom-haired young man noticed something strange ahead. Not only did strange energy fluctuations appear, but their communication signal was also completely cut off. Meanwhile, Fang Ning was struggling against the shockwaves released by the female ghost. They were so powerful that even the ground was left with deep marks. The scene terrified the three people on the director's side so much that they dropped to their knees and begged for mercy. In the blink of an eye, the female ghost reached Fang Ning and grabbed his neck tightly. Her terrifying strength lifted him into the air effortlessly. Just then, a strong gust of wind blew past and knocked away the veil covering the female ghost's head. Underneath was an unbelievably beautiful face with deep and captivating eyes. Seeing her appearance, Fang Ning was completely stunned. The only thought in his mind was, "What kind of ghost is this beautiful?" After seeing her face, the viewers exploded with comments. "If every female ghost looked like this, I would volunteer. Cameraman, give yourself a raise. This beauty is beyond even top actresses." But the truth was completely different from what the viewers imagined. The female ghost's grip around Fang Ning's neck tightened, making it almost impossible for him to breathe. Everything had gone far beyond the original script. The female ghost slowly lifted Fang Ning higher into the air while maintaining her grip on his neck. Her beautiful face showed no emotion at all. Fang Ning was already close to losing consciousness due to the lack of air. On the other side, Director Wang's face turned pale. "It is over. If this continues, we are all going to die." The Twubang-haired young man panicked. "Director, think of something. I am still young. I do not want to die in this deserted place." Director Wang shouted, "How can I think of something? Look at those marks on the ground. Even rocks were damaged. What can we do?" At this moment, Fang Ning's strength was rapidly fading. His eyes slowly closed. His consciousness gradually sank into darkness. Just then, a small beam of light suddenly appeared from somewhere. It shot forward and entered his weakened body. The next moment, Fang Ning suddenly opened his eyes. He grabbed the female ghost's wrist and shouted angrily, "Damn it, do you know how important this live stream is? Just act normally for me." The string of beads on his left wrist suddenly lit up, attracting the female ghost's attention. A burst of golden light erupted, forcing the female ghost to release him and step back, while Fang Ning painfully twisted on the ground. Holding his neck and coughing violently, he cursed inside. "A little longer and I would have gone to meet my ancestors. And where is that so-called professional crew? Who can survive acting like this? All the effort spent preparing this live stream cannot be wasted." While Fang Ning still could not understand why a real female ghost existed here. Her eyes remained locked onto the beads on his wrist. Facing the camera, Fang Ning continued acting. "To be honest, I have lived this long and still remain alone. If I have to die today, before that happens, I want to do something I never dared to do before." He fixed his hair and continued, "Viewers, dying beneath the peony flowers and becoming a charming ghost is still a romantic fate. Today I am going all in." After saying that, he stomped on the ground. Then he lowered himself into a position like he was proposing. Slowly taking out a ring from his pocket, he said, "Princess, please let go of your 1,000-year obsession and marry me." The viewers instantly exploded. He is proposing to a female ghost? This streamer is too bold. He's not even sparing a ghost. Sending gifts now. Hope we can still see his videos tomorrow. Holding the ring, Fang Ning closed his eyes and thought, "This contrast is exactly what will push the live stream to its peak." Unexpectedly, the female ghost's gaze became gentler. Her face turned innocent like a normal girl as she softly asked, "Marry me?" But right after that, she seemed to realize something. Her hand suddenly grabbed Fang Ning's hand tightly, while the surrounding wind began to rage. Seeing this, Fang Ning felt a chill down his spine. What is wrong with this actress? Why is she not following the script? Wasn't she supposed to panic and run away? Just then, the female ghost slowly moved closer to him. Her eyes never left his gaze for even a moment. She raised the ring in front of her and asked, Why did you only come to find me now? Tears continued falling as she cried out, Why? Why did you make me wait for so long? The more emotional the female ghost became, the more terrifying the wind around her grew. Even rocks and dirt were lifted into the air. Fang Ning could not understand what was happening. Could these winds and tremors really be created by props? Meanwhile, the female ghost cried out in pain, Why? Why did you abandon me here? Her eyes turned deep red, filled with darkness and terror. This time, the wind became far stronger than before. Even the crew members were thrown away and slammed into trees. Behind the female ghost, a purple aura slowly gathered. In just moments, it transformed into a terrifying ghostly figure. Even Fang Ning was so frightened that he nearly lost his soul. Half of the female ghost's face began to distort. One side was slowly corroded, leaving only one eye filled with endless despair. Fang Ning finally confirmed this was no longer acting. The thing before him was a real ghost. These phenomena could never be created by props. He did not want his life to end here. Besides, he had not made enough money yet. He absolutely did not want to die now. The female ghost wiped away her tears while letting her damaged face continue to decay. With sorrow in her voice, she cried, Why? Why did you leave me behind? Do not leave me alone here. Hearing those words, Fang Ning suddenly understood something, and shock flashed across his eyes. He remembered his childhood, when his parents left him behind, after making empty promises, before disappearing without a trace. From then on, he lived with harsh relatives who often punished him over the smallest mistakes. Every winter night, the little boy curled up in a storage room with only a thin blanket, trembling as he called out in his heart, Mom, Dad, I miss you. Where are you? Do not leave me here. I will be good. Please do not leave me alone. At that moment, he realized the female ghost in front of him carried the same loneliness as he did. He gently placed his hand on her head and said, So you are just like me. Do not cry anymore. He slowly opened the ring box. Then he gently placed the ring on her ring finger. After that, he pulled her into his arms, and her corrupted face slowly returned to normal. Whispering beside her ear, Fang Xing said, I came back to marry you. At that moment, the female ghost suddenly opened her eyes wide. A terrifying roar erupted, and her power created a storm that sent Fang Ning flying far away. The impact made him crash into a nearby tree, and he completely lost consciousness. Thanks to everyone's continuous shouting, Fang Ning slowly woke up. When he opened his eyes, dawn had already arrived. Sitting up, he rubbed his head in confusion and asked, What exactly happened? Where is the female ghost? A crew member answered, After last night's storm, we all lost consciousness. Nobody knows what happened afterward. We checked the camera too. After it fell, it only recorded grass and the ground. Everything else was missing. After the storm, the live stream was also interrupted. However, there is good news. Your account gained another 150,000 followers. The live stream revenue reached 30,000 yuan. Even after the platform's cut, the remaining amount is still very good. Director Wang excitedly said, I will send you yesterday's live streams recording. Once it is uploaded, it will definitely attract many more fans. Fang Ning stared at the numbers on his phone and laughed. Great, great. Do not worry about your payment. I will pay exactly as agreed, not a single coin less. We can work together again in the future. Everyone has stayed awake all night. It is time to go home and rest. The scene shifted to an old apartment. Morning sunlight entered every corner, highlighting its worn-down condition. Fang Ning had also returned home. He slowly walked up the stairs. Reaching his door, he quickly took out his key. The door opened, and he stepped inside. As soon as he entered, he kicked away an empty Coca-Cola can on the floor. Then he collapsed onto an old chair. Taking out his phone to check the data, he thought, it has not even been uploaded for long, but the views have already passed 100,000. The comments are also increasing non-stop. It seems my fame has grown a lot overnight. Suddenly remembering the female ghost from last night, he thought, I never even asked for her name. Thinking about it, he entered the bedroom, took off his clothes, and muttered, Strange, I just woke up not long ago, but I am sleepy again. I wonder if she followed me after that proposal last night. Hopefully not. I still want to live a few more years. Besides, that kind of resentful spirit should be a bound ghost. It cannot easily leave the place trapping it. After saying that, he lay down on the bed. His eyelids slowly became heavier. Not long after, he fell completely asleep. Time passed quickly, and soon night arrived. After a long sleep, Fang Ning slowly woke up. He immediately reached for his phone to check the time. But instead, his hand touched a piece of red cloth. The scene made his eyes widen. The person standing before him was the female ghost from last night. Her red eyes, familiar wedding dress, and long hair were exactly the same as before. Seeing her figure, Fang Ning's mind was filled with questions. He pinched himself and muttered, "What the hell is happening? Am I dreaming?" But the sharp pain quickly gave him the answer. Looking at the female ghost standing blankly before him, he comforted himself. "Whatever you think about during the day appears in your dreams at night. I cannot believe I dreamed of this." Then he clasped his hands, closed his eyes, and thought, "If this is a dream, everything should change according to my thoughts. As long as I stop thinking about her, it will be fine." He slowly opened one eye to check. But reality was completely different from what he expected. The female ghost was still standing there, even looking at him with confusion. This made him scream, "Oh my God, why are you still here?" In response, the female ghost only looked at him as if watching a strange performance. Fang Ning felt a chill run down his spine as sweat poured out. Could I be too exhausted and still trapped in this dream? Just then, he remembered a method he had heard before: bend your finger to see if it hurts. Without hesitation, he grabbed his index finger and forcefully bent it. He believed that if he was dreaming, he would feel nothing, and that became the beginning of a small disaster. Seconds later, a terrible scream echoed from the room, even startling the birds outside the window. Fang Ning held his painful hand, his face twisted in agony. His swollen finger was clearly visible, while the female ghost tilted her head and asked in confusion, "What are you doing?" Hearing her voice, Fang Ning froze. The pain in his finger was pushed aside as one thought appeared. Could this really not be a dream? He cautiously walked closer, touched the female ghost's hand, and muttered, "So everything is real. She actually has a physical body." After confirming it, he immediately sat up and stammered, Why did you appear here?" His heart was filled with fear. "It is over. This ghost followed me all the way home. Am I really going to die tonight?" Suddenly, the female ghost touched his pointing finger, making him think, "Wait, it seems she did not come here to kill me." At that moment, the female ghost looked at him with pure eyes, gently pulled his hand closer, and said, "I came here to see you. I am not here to take you to meet your ancestors." Fang Ning froze completely, his mouth open in shock. "What? Ha! Why would you come to see me? We do not even know each other." The female ghost pulled his hand even closer and said softly, "Husband, I have finally found you." Seeing this scene, Fang Ning was stunned in his mind. What is happening? Could she really think I am her husband? Seeing his confused expression, the female ghost's attitude instantly changed. A red aura appeared behind her, and her eyes became different as she asked, "Have you forgotten?" Sensing danger, Fang Ning hurriedly explained, "Ah, I see, but I was only acting last night. Who would really propose to a female ghost like you?" Hearing that, the female ghost loses her composure. Her hair flies wildly as her expression changes, and a terrifying ghost shadow appears behind her. Fang Ning breaks into a cold sweat and quickly calculates. Staying alive matters most, so he decides to agree with her first and deal with the rest later. He rushes over, grabs the female ghost's hand, and forces a smile. "How could I forget? You are my wife, after all. Haha." Her anger slowly fades, and the red aura and ghost shadow disappear. After that, he casually asks for her name so he can address her properly. The female ghost's surname is Jiang, and her name is Li. She is called Jiang Li. Jiang Li becomes extremely happy, smiling brightly like an innocent child. Meanwhile, Fang Ning finally relaxes. Luckily, he managed to keep his life. One wrong word, and he felt like he was about to be sent to the afterlife. After all, this female ghost has an outstanding appearance, so he does not mind too much. As someone who has been single for years, he is used to a quiet life. Having a female ghost suddenly appear like fate is not such a bad thing. He clears his throat and asks, "How did you get here?" The princess tomb is at least more than 10 kilometers away. Hearing that, Jiang Li immediately floats into the air and explains. A green energy surrounds her body, lifting her above the ground. Right after that, she charges straight toward Fang Ning. Then she directly merges into his body. Watching her suddenly vanish, Fang Ning is stunned. Huh? What just happened? This is strange. He looks around but cannot find her anywhere, then panics. What the hell? Where is my ghost friend? At that moment, the female ghost appears as a beam of light and says, "I am here, inside your body." Fang Ning is shocked and screams loudly. After that, Jiang Li leaves his body once again. The moment she appears, she falls straight onto the ground. Fang Ning cannot believe it. Can ghosts even fall down? Seeing her slowly stand up with an adorable look, Fang Ning thinks to himself, she is actually quite lovable, and she does not seem like she wants to harm him. At this moment, Jiang Li stands up and places one hand on the edge of Fang Ning's bed. However, her outfit is too complicated and gets in the way, causing her to lose balance and fall onto the floor again. Seeing this, Fang Ning says she should probably change clothes. That outfit must be inconvenient to move around in. Hearing that, Zhang Li looks back at him with a confused expression. She quietly responds, then raises her hand and uses magic. A wave of spiritual energy lifts her body into the air. Fang Ning watches in shock, feeling like he is witnessing a legendary divine technique. In just a moment, the wedding dress disappears and is replaced by a simple white outfit. Seeing this, Fang Ning immediately gets a nosebleed and shouts, "I told you to change clothes, not wear something like this." Still looking innocent, Zhang Li watches Fang Ning desperately trying to stop the bleeding and asks curiously, "Why are you bleeding so much?" While Zhang Li casually ignores her appearance, Fang Ning struggles to stay calm. He quickly turns away and gives her a white shirt, telling her to put it on immediately. Holding the shirt, Zhang Li still looks confused. Fang Ning sits down on the floor with a burning face. Everything is completely different from what he saw in movies and novels. He even wonders if she is trying to charm him on purpose. A while later, Zhang Li finishes changing clothes. She slowly walks out, and Fang Ning's eyes are almost unable to leave her. Her appearance was already stunning, and the added shirt makes her features stand out even more. Noticing the collar is too wide, Fang Ning quickly steps forward, adjusts it, and carefully buttons it up. Only after finishing does he let out a sigh of relief, like he survived a difficult trial. A little slower and he might have faced another huge problem. As for Zhang Li, after her clothes are fixed, she frowns slightly because the tight feeling is uncomfortable. Fang Ning says, "These are my clothes, so of course they do not fit you perfectly. Tell me honestly, are you planning to follow me forever? Do you really see me as your husband?" Hearing that, Zhang Li immediately nods repeatedly, firmly confirming that Fang Ning is her husband and she will listen to whatever he says. Fang Ning can only shake his head helplessly. This is no longer an illusion. The female ghost before him is truly the legendary princess who slept for 1,000 years. He lets out a long sigh as if he has finally accepted reality. After that, he walks past Zhang Li and signals her to follow him somewhere else. While she curiously touches the light switch, Fang Ning secretly thinks, if she really follows everything he says, maybe he should give it a try. At that moment, the room suddenly lights up. Seeing her reflection in the mirror, the female ghost curiously examines herself and mutters, "What is this? Why is it so clear?" Fang Ning has brought her into the bathroom. He looks at her and asks, "You said I am your husband, so if I tell you to do something, you will do it, right?" Hearing that, the female ghost's cheeks turn slightly red. With expectation in her eyes, she softly replies, "Yes, I will listen to everything you say." Fang Ning is quite satisfied with her answer, but he keeps a serious expression and says, "Remember, you said this yourself." After saying that, the corner of his mouth lifts mysteriously. "Then the first thing I want to teach you is..." Hearing this, the female ghost becomes nervous. Her expression also turns more serious. While she is still wondering, Fang Ning picks up a toothbrush and continues. "The first lesson is brushing your teeth. If you want to live here with me, you need to stay clean every morning." He takes out toothpaste, puts the right amount on the brush, and explains, "I will buy you your own cup and toothbrush later. For now, watch me first. First, put toothpaste on the brush. Then place it on your teeth and brush evenly to clean your mouth. Finally, rinse with water to wash away the foam and spit it out." But before he finishes explaining, the female ghost quickly takes Fang Ning's toothbrush, leaving him frozen. She puts it in her mouth and copies his instructions. Her movements are clumsy but extremely focused. Following every step, she brushes up and down as foam appears around her lips. She wonders, so this is what brushing teeth is. Fang Ning is completely stunned. That is his toothbrush, yet she just used it without hesitation. Even so, the female ghost's ability to learn is surprisingly fast. She quickly understands how to use it. At this moment, she holds water in her mouth and rinses just like he taught her. Standing beside her, Fang Ning can only shake his head helplessly. The female ghost turns to him and asks, "Husband, is this how it is done?" Seeing her innocent look and adorable expression, Fang Ning does not know what to say. He just stands there sweating, thinking this girl is truly too easy to make people soften. Although he feels happy inside, Fang Ning still tries to stay calm. After this test, he considers the female ghost to have passed the first challenge. He gently takes the toothbrush from her mouth and reminds her, "Do not use my toothbrush again in the future. Understand?" While carefully cleaning the toothbrush, he says, "If you stay here, I will buy you your own set of daily items." His hand lightly touches her small face. The female ghost obediently replies, "Thank you, husband. Sorry for troubling you." Fang Ning continues, "It is fine, but what I want to know is why you are so certain that I am your husband and treat me like we are truly married." Hearing that, the female ghost stays silent for a moment before whispering, "I do not remember clearly either. My memories are very blurry. I only know you are my husband, and I have waited for you for a very long time." At that moment, the sun rises, and gentle morning light enters the apartment. Standing by the mirror, the female ghost slowly adds, "There is one more thing. It seems I am searching for something very important." Hearing this, Fang Ning thinks quietly, searching for something while losing her memories. Could she have approached me because of that item? But reality is different from what he imagined. Even after trying to remember, the female ghost still cannot identify what she is looking for, making her feel uneasy. After thinking for a while, a blurry image suddenly appears in her mind. It seems to be a hair ornament, like a hairpin. Fang Ning thinks to himself, "A hairpin? That already sounds unusual. Why does someone ordinary like me keep getting dragged into strange events?" After that, he tells the female ghost to wait outside while he cleans himself up. Standing before the sink, Fang Ning adjusts his clothes and thinks. It seems she truly remembers nothing. From what he knows, ghosts exist because of unfinished obsessions. Could she have even forgotten that? Just as he is about to relax after a chaotic night, he suddenly notices something. Turning around, he sees the female ghost staring at him closely. He immediately becomes embarrassed and asks, "I already told you to go outside. Why are you still standing here?" The female ghost answers naturally, "Of course I am waiting for my husband." Hearing that, the two stare at each other in confusion, and the atmosphere becomes extremely awkward. Without hesitation, Fang Ning pushes her out of the room. The female ghost sits on the floor with a confused expression, while he slams the door shut and says, "Wait outside." Only then does he finally breathe a sigh of relief. While finishing his routine, Fang Ning reviews everything in his mind. He needs to ask more questions. It is too early to draw any conclusions. She looks harmless, but that may not be her true nature. Maybe this is all an act, and she will reveal her real side once she gets what she wants. But he has to admit, she really is adorable, and she even calls him her husband. Even so, humans and ghosts belong to different worlds. He is not some legendary hero who can easily accept this kind of thing. In the end, finding a way to make her leave still seems like the better choice. Thinking that, he walks to the bedroom door and pushes it open. In an instant, his entire body freezes. The female ghost is sitting comfortably on his bed. She is holding an adult book filled with sensitive illustrations. The sight makes Fang Ning scream in horror. He rushes over to take the book back, but forgets that the female ghost can easily float away. Unable to get it back, he can only look up and ask, "Where did you find that book?" The female ghost innocently replies, "I found it under your bed." Then she curiously asks, "Husband, why are the people in this book dressed so strangely? Are they also husband and wife? Do I need to do these things with you too?" Hearing that, Fang Ning feels his brain about to explode. He quickly explains, "No, this book was just given to me by someone else." Although he says that he does not fully believe it himself. He keeps trying to take the book back, but the female ghost's reactions are too fast. Every attempt fails, and the secret he hid for so long is completely exposed. After flipping through more pages, the female ghost points at an illustration and innocently asks, "Husband, why are these people doing such strange things in front of each other?" Hearing the question, Fang Ning completely freezes and does not know how to answer. He immediately rushes forward and quickly takes the book back from her. He stuffs it under the bed and seriously reminds her, "From now on, do not touch my things without my permission, understand?" The female ghost obediently sits down, nods and replies, "I understand, dear husband." Seeing her calm down, Fang Ning returns to the previous topic about the lost item she mentioned in the bathroom. But before he can continue, the female ghost moves closer and stares directly into his eyes, making him visibly nervous. Then her gaze moves downward. Her curious expression makes Fang Ning panic and shout, "Hey, stop staring there." It seems she has just remembered the images from the book earlier. She quietly compares them with the situation in front of her. A proud smile appears on the female ghost's face, as if she has figured something out. She suddenly jumps toward him, making Fang Ning flinch and ask, "Hey, what exactly are you trying to do?" The female ghost seriously answers, "According to the book, the first step is removing the husband's clothes, then following the instructions inside, and finally completing it." The more she talks, the more excited she becomes, even reaching for his zipper. Fang Ning's face turns red as he quickly stops her and says, "Forget everything in that book. Why would you suddenly do this? This cannot be done so casually." The female ghost immediately protests with an unhappy expression. "How is it casual? You are my husband. I would only do this with my husband." After saying that, she rushes forward again. Luckily, Fang Ning reacts quickly, dodges to the side, and says, "This still cannot happen. We just met." After creating some distance, he asks her to sit down and have a serious talk. He does not want things to happen in such a strange way. But if he rejects her too strongly, what if she gets angry? Thinking about that, his headache gets worse because he has no way to resist her. While he is lost in thought, the female ghost sits down on the bed with obvious disappointment. Seeing her reaction, Fang Ning is slightly stunned. He did not expect her to care this much. He quickly shakes his head and regains his focus, reminding himself not to overthink. Taking a deep breath, he says, "What I mean is, first we need to understand each other." Before he finishes, the female ghost interrupts. "I understand. Everyone in the book wore very little clothing, so if I remove some, that should be fine, right?" While saying that, she hurriedly starts undoing her buttons. Her already tight outfit becomes even messier. Watching this scene, Fang Ning can only stand frozen, with obvious embarrassment on his face. The female ghost tilts her head and asks, "Will you agree then, husband?" She steps closer again, looks at him curiously, and asks, "Husband, do you like me like this? If you do, then let's do what we should do." The distance between them keeps getting closer. Faced with her overwhelming initiative, Fang Ning hurriedly says, "Put your clothes back on properly." After saying that, he quickly takes another shirt and hands it to her. Not long after, the female ghost puts on the clothes he prepared, while Fang Ning turns around to avoid the awkwardness. He says, "Are you dressed yet? From now on, do not copy those things from that book anymore. That's how it should be." After finishing changing, the female ghost obediently nods and agrees. Fang Ning also wonders why she does not use magic to create new clothes. It turns out her ability cannot directly create objects from nothing. That is why she uses his clothes instead. Seeing her keep holding the shirt and smelling it, Fang Ning quickly waves his hand and says, "Hey, do not sniff it like that." While she gradually follows his instructions, Fang Ning quietly thinks, "Ghost-like existences should normally be difficult to see with the naked eye or record with ordinary devices, right?" Still full of questions, Fang Ning asks, "Zhang Li, are you really a ghost?" Hearing that, the female ghost immediately looks confused. She quickly denies it. Fang Ning then asks, "Then what exactly are you?" At this point, the confusion on her face becomes even clearer because even she does not know what kind of existence she is. Seeing her reaction, Fang Ning becomes even more certain of his guess. Perhaps she became like this because of an obsession. To help her leave, he first needs to find that hairpin. He grabs her hand and asks, "Do you remember where you lost it?" The female ghost shakes her head. "I still cannot remember. But husband, I am hungry." Her answer surprises Fang Ning. He never expected an existence like her to feel hunger too. Then he leads her to the refrigerator, though he is unsure if she can eat normal human food. Inside, only one cake remains. He gives it to her and says, "There is no food left at home. Eat this for now." The female ghost obediently accepts the cake. She opens her mouth and takes a small bite. But after tasting it, she immediately returns it with dissatisfaction, saying this cannot make her full. Holding the unfinished cake, Fang Ning thinks deeply. It seems she has a real body, so she needs energy to survive. But if normal food cannot satisfy her, what can he find for her to eat? He turns and asks, "Then what do you want to eat? Do not tell me you plan to eat me instead." However, the female ghost does not answer immediately and suddenly looks outside the window. After staring for a few seconds, her eyes light up as if she has found something. Hearing her say there is delicious food outside, Fang Ning becomes curious and looks toward the window. At that moment, the female ghost suddenly places her hand on his shoulder, catching him off guard. Right after that, she lifts him up and flies into the sky toward the place she discovered. As someone afraid of heights, Fang Ning nearly loses all hope. The early morning city appears below them with winds rushing past. The view is beautiful, but he has no mood to enjoy it. In this ridiculous situation, he can only shout, "Hey, where are we going? At least let your husband change his slippers first." After a while, the green light around the female ghost slowly descends toward a forest. The moment they land, Fang Ning grabs a nearby tree and keeps retching, while the female ghost calmly walks forward. After taking some time to recover, he turns and asks, "Where is this place?" But the moment he finishes speaking, his eyes widen in shock. In front of them is a huge abandoned building, with signs of decay covering every wall and rooftop. It is a school called Haiwan Elementary School. The familiar name makes Fang Ning's memories stir, as if he has heard of it somewhere before. While thinking, the two slowly walk inside. However, the scene here feels extremely unusual. Rotten desks, signs, and other abandoned items are piled up in the schoolyard, creating a desolate atmosphere. Fang Ning takes out his phone and checks the map. His eyes stay fixed on the screen until he confirms their current location is Haiyan Village. This place sits in a large empty area, with no signs of human activity nearby. A chill runs down Fang Ning's spine, making him realize this place is only a few kilometers from his apartment. Yet he has never stepped foot here before. This is the location of a shocking incident once widely reported by the media. Years ago, a real estate company planned to build an entertainment complex on this land. After purchasing the area, the residents of Haiyan Village gradually moved away. At first, everything went smoothly, but once construction began, strange incidents started happening one after another. Mysterious accidents killed many workers and people involved, forcing the project to stop. The entire area was abandoned until now. These terrifying memories make Fang Ning even more uneasy. He keeps looking at the female ghost, unable to understand why she brought him to such a notorious place. At this moment, Zhang Li looks extremely excited, repeatedly saying there is something fascinating inside. Fang Ning's face turns pale, and he nearly loses his balance. According to Fang Ning's guess, what the female ghost mentioned is likely some kind of energy similar to her, such as leftover soul energy from this place. Hearing that, Fang Ning quickly hides behind a tree and tells her to go inside and enjoy it herself while he waits outside. However, as her husband, he probably cannot stay too far away. Because of that, Zhang Li keeps begging and pulls him deeper inside. Seeing her behavior, Fang Ning feels both embarrassed and uneasy because she is far too childish. Whether he agrees or not, Zhang Li treats it as something that must happen and quickly drags Fang Ning further in, making his fear explode until he screams. However, her cuteness and constant acting spoiled gradually make Fang Ning soften. 10 years ago, a mysterious disappearance happened at the dormitory of Haiyan Elementary School. The incident became widely known as the mysterious disappearance case of Haiyan Elementary School. At that time, a 6th grade student named Lian Xiang suddenly vanished while staying inside the sealed school area. After hearing the news, her parents were devastated and immediately reported it. The police and rescue teams expanded the search area, but found no clues. Even though the security cameras operated day and night, the girl's whereabouts were as if she had never existed. 1 month later, Lian Xiang's heavily decomposed body was discovered inside a teaching building, even though that area had already been searched many times. The incident caused both teachers and students to fall into panic. The scene was quickly sealed for investigation. The examination confirmed that Lian Xiang had died about 1 month earlier. The strange part was that there were no traces around the body, as if she had disappeared from the world and suddenly returned. Half a month later, Haiyan Elementary School's principal, Jiang Shuang, suddenly hanged herself inside the school grounds, causing great fear among the students. From then on, countless unexplained events occurred at Haiyan School. Eventually, the school was relocated and demolished, becoming the abandoned area it is today. From Lian Xiang's disappearance and reappearance to the principal's death and construction accidents, everything left this place covered in mystery. The more Fang Ning reads these records, the more his scalp tingles. He cannot help worrying that this abandoned place truly hides something abnormal. At that moment, Fang Ning's body trembles repeatedly, and he can barely hold his phone steady. Meanwhile, the female ghost is clearly excited, constantly circling around her husband. While the female ghost plays with a statue in the schoolyard, Fang Ning takes the chance to suggest that maybe they should leave. Hearing that, Zhang Li immediately looks unhappy, her cold gaze locking onto him. Seeing her expression, Fang Ning quickly changes his tone and awkwardly laughs, saying he was only joking. Deep down, Fang Ning still feels this female ghost is not trustworthy at all. However, seeing her confidence, he believes she truly possesses great ability. After calming himself down, Fang Ning opens the school gate and enters with the female ghost. The scene inside is completely rotten. Most of the paint on the walls has peeled away, leaving only traces of decay. Spider webs cover every corner of the building. For the rats, this place has long become their familiar territory. Using his flashlight and Zhang Li's ability to sense spiritual's energy, the two quickly move deeper inside. Everything around them shows severe deterioration, from cracked walls to old damaged doors. At this moment, the female ghost places her hand on Fang Ning's shoulder and points upward, making his anxiety grow even stronger. Wanting to help the beautiful girl in front of him get the meal she desires, Fang Ning can only reluctantly climb the stairs toward the higher floors. Their destination is the floor marked 5F. After reaching the floor, the two begin observing the area. Compared to below, the condition is no better. The level of decay is even more severe. Suddenly, the female ghost leaves Fang Ning's side and rushes toward a room, making him even more nervous and tense. Inside an office deep within the building, the layout shows that this was once where the school's management worked. Zhang Li and Fang Ning enter the area as well. While Fang Ning is still looking around in confusion, completely unaware of what this place used to be, Zhang Li can no longer hide her excitement. Her eyes are locked onto what she considers a delicious meal, a set of school supplies and some old leftover items. Fang Ning casually picks up a comb covered in years of dust and wipes away the dirt. Other than a freezing sensation running down his spine, the item seems completely ordinary. Just then, the female ghost rushes over and snatches the comb from his hand, looking like someone who has waited too long. Fang Ning can only stare in confusion. A strange dark aura suddenly rises from the comb. Zhang Li immediately absorbs all of the energy with an expression of pure enjoyment. After draining everything, she returns the comb to Fang Ning, leaving him standing there confused about what just happened. The female ghost looks extremely satisfied, with a delighted smile as if she just received a great reward. Even though she keeps praising it as a delicious meal, Fang Ning still cannot understand what she did or what she absorbed. However, after the energy inside disappears, the comb no longer gives off a cold feeling. Fang Ning guesses that what Zhang Li absorbed was soul power. The soul power hidden inside these objects seems to satisfy her hunger and make her happier. The truth is almost exactly that, making Fang Ning believe this school is hiding some kind of evil spirit. Just thinking about it gives him a headache. While lost in thought, he is pulled back by Zhang Li's voice. Since there are still many food items nearby, she keeps waving at him to follow. Since they already came this far, Fang Ning decides to go along with her and search for the things she likes. While walking, a sudden idea flashes through his mind, instantly making him alert. The idea is simple but highly possible. Filming's explorations of mysterious locations. Curiosity always attracts viewers. Fang Ning suddenly turns around, causing the female ghost to look back at him. He has found a way for Zhang Li to stay with him while also helping them earn a large amount of money. Zhang Li still does not understand his plan, and her face shows pure confusion. Fang Ning grabs her hand and asks if she can sense the location of soul power. She cannot find the exact position, but she can roughly detect the direction. Hearing that, Fang Ning becomes extremely excited, as if he just hit a jackpot. The Princess Tomb exploration still has strong popularity. If he continues making similar content, he can greatly increase his online fame. For someone who loves money and attention like him, this is a perfect opportunity. Without hesitation, Fang Ning starts his plan. He teaches Zhang Li how to use a phone for recording. Thanks to her intelligence, she quickly learns everything. With her ability to control floating objects and move freely, filming becomes even easier for her. Seeing how quickly she learns, Fang Ning pats her head and promises that if she does well, he will take her to enjoy many delicious foods. Hearing about food, Zhang Li immediately becomes excited and happily jumps around. Having a wife who can fly and sense mysterious phenomena makes her perfect for helping with video recording. All he needs is to take her around, record explorations, and upload them online. Then the number of followers will definitely rise, his fame will grow, and income will follow. After agreeing on the content and carefully explaining everything, the two begin carrying out the plan. Thanks to her flying ability, Zhang Li easily takes the role of camera woman for her husband. Once the recording starts, Fang Ning immediately enters character. He begins with the familiar style of content creators. Hello everyone, I am the great elder chairman of the beggars sect Ao Lang. Long time no see, do you still remember me? Greetings to all viewers watching. It is already 1 in the morning. After the Princess Tomb incident, today I continue my exploration journey. In front of me is an abandoned school in the mountains outside the city, Haiyuan Elementary School. Haiyuan Elementary School was built 40 years ago with funding from the Shangyuan Foundation. to provide education for children in Haiyuan Village. The source of Haiyuan Village's ghostly rumors was the mysterious disappearance of a girl 10 years ago. Since then, many strange incidents and unusual deaths have occurred around the area. 3 years ago, the entire region was cleared out, and the residents moved away. Were these strange events just coincidences, human-made tricks, or was there truly an invisible force behind them? Today, follow me as we enter this place filled with terrifying rumors and uncover the truth. While Fang Ning is passionately talking to the camera, the comb behind him suddenly releases a special soul aura. Even stranger, it begins moving by itself and even stands upright. As for Zhongli, besides thinking about food, she completely ignores this change. Looking at the comb, she only shows a hungry expression like she is facing a rare delicacy. Even so, she forces herself to hold back, reminding herself to finish filming first before enjoying the meal. Meanwhile, Fang Ning continues his narration. It is said that the missing girl was named Lian Xiang. Later, her body was found right here, inside the principal's office. The principal who committed suicide also died in this same room. Therefore, all the mysteries may have started here. While investigating, I also discovered a girl's comb on the desk. After saying that, he reaches behind himself to pick up the comb and show it to the audience. But after searching around, he still cannot touch the item he wants, leaving Fang Ning stunned. Not only that, the comb begins moving strangely, making him feel something is wrong. At first, he thinks Zhongli is secretly helping create effects for the video with her power, but after thinking carefully, she never mentioned doing this. Just then, a dark hand with sharp claws suddenly grabs his wrist tightly. Surprisingly, Fang Ning still manages to keep some calm in this situation. At the same time, he realizes the moving comb and this strange ghost hand have nothing to do with Zhongli. Behind that arm is another female ghost with an extremely terrifying appearance. Her eyes are pitch black, her hair is dark blue, and her lips are so red that it is impossible to tell if it is lipstick or blood. While Zhongli behind him is still yawning from boredom, the terrifying ghost moves closer to Fang Ning. He curses his bad luck for encountering another ghost here. In an instant, the ghost tightens her grip around his neck, intending to kill him. The terrifying force is so strong that Fang Ning cannot make a sound. Coldness spreads through his body, his limbs become stiff, and his face turns pale from lack of oxygen. Not stopping there, the ghost uses her other hand to hold him down. Fang Ning's entire body becomes locked in place, unable to move at all. Realizing this is the opponent's special ability, he can only desperately call for Zhongli in his mind. His helpless struggle seems to make the ghost even more excited. The corner of her mouth rises, revealing the expression of a predator that has captured its prey. Unfortunately, from Zhongli's position, she cannot see what is happening behind him. Fang Ning's body completely blocks the terrifying female ghost. Moreover, Zhongli's mind is only focused on the delicious food she will get after finishing the job. Meanwhile, Fang Ning is already reaching his limit. Sweat pours down, saliva drips from the corner of his mouth, and he tries to call for help but receives no response. His consciousness slowly fades, and his eyes gradually close. Inside Fang Ning's mental world, the beads on his body suddenly begin glowing, just like when Zhongli once strangled him. Unexpectedly, this light gives him a strange source of power. Fang Ning's eyes shine as if merging with the glow from the beads. Perhaps for someone as obsessed with making money as him, dying here while still young is simply unacceptable. Even the vicious female ghost cannot hide her shock and caution. Fang Ning immediately breaks free from her control and even grabs her arm to stop her from escaping. A special light continuously radiates from his body, all coming from the beads he wears. One surprise after another, the female ghost cannot believe that an ordinary human can detect her existence and even directly grab her body. Before she can recover from the shock, Fang Ning gathers his strength and throws her away. The impact is so strong that the female ghost almost loses her ability to resist. However, the effects of oxygen deprivation prevent him from maintaining this state for long. His body collapses, and he starts coughing violently. What surprises Fang Ning the most is that he has no idea where this power came from, or when he gained such an ability. At that moment, the female demons muttering from the floor drew his attention away. Why? Why would you treat me like this? She gritted her teeth tightly, her fingers scraping across the floor with a sharp screech. Suddenly, the female demon shot forward like an arrow, her sharp claws aimed straight at Fang Ning. Everything happened too fast for him to react. At the same time, a mysterious voice rang beside his ear, repeatedly telling him to lower his body and dodge to the side. Following his instincts, Fang Ning immediately did as instructed. This allowed him to narrowly avoid the attack. He also realized his body had become much more agile than before. Under the current light, the female demon's figure became clearer. Her dress was covered with old and fresh bloodstains, showing traces of countless terrifying events. A dark shadow rushed toward him again, but this time Fang Ning managed to dodge. He also noticed it was only a feint. Sure enough, the female demon's true target was the door behind him, trying to escape. Unfortunately for her, the moment she reached it, a powerful soul force erupted and blasted her back. Only then did Zhang Li calmly appear, sending a voice transmission to Fang Ning and telling him to go all out, treating this as real combat training. Thanks to that message, Fang Ning learned that the guiding voice earlier was Zhang Li's. He had thought the golden power came from her, but it actually came from the bead chain on his body. Putting his doubts aside, Fang Ning refocused. He rolled his wrist and stretched his muscles, preparing for a real battle. After warming up, he instantly charged forward and threw a powerful punch. The female demon barely dodged it, but her face was still filled with shock at an ordinary human's strength. Knowing she could not fight him head-on, she immediately tried to escape, but was caught by Fang Ning's hand. He coldly said, "Think you can escape from me that easily? This video's popularity still depends on you." As soon as he finished speaking, a heavy blow struck the female demon. She was sent flying into the wall with a loud crash. Without giving her a chance to resist, Fang Ning pinned her against the wall and excitedly said, "How dare you ambush me? Next time, choose the right person. Once you're in my hands, don't even think about escaping." Realizing she could not break free by force, the female demon immediately changed tactics. Her appearance began to transform, becoming much more beautiful and charming. Her figure also changed, becoming softer and more attractive than before. In just moments, her entire appearance was completely different from her original terrifying form. The sudden transformation left Fang Ning stunned. The female demon slowly moved closer, leaned beside his ear, and softly called, "Big brother, can you spare me this time?" While speaking, she deliberately acted close to him, trying to weaken Fang Ning's resolve. Indeed, Fang Ning became slightly flustered, and his face turned red for a moment. But then, a freezing sensation suddenly swept over him, making his entire body stiffen. Looking behind him secretly, Fang Ning immediately understood the source of the killing intent. Zhang Li stood there with an extremely displeased expression, her eyes almost piercing through everything before her. With his strong survival instinct, Fang Ning instantly changed his attitude. He pulled the female demon away and shouted, "Shut up! How can you act so shamelessly in broad daylight?" After saying that, Fang Ning suddenly realized it was midnight, so there was no such thing as broad daylight. Don't think those seduction tricks can shake my firm will. Thinking about the consequences of angering Zhang Li, Fang Ning felt cold sweat pouring down his body. The female demon's gaze earlier clearly carried the desire to devour everything. Luckily, he reacted fast enough, or the consequences would have been unimaginable. At that moment, the female demon approached again, showing a pitiful expression and begging Fang Ning to trust her, promising she would not hurt him anymore. While he was still stunned by her words, she suddenly blew a strange breath toward his face. By the time Fang Ning sensed something was wrong, it was already too late. The female demon instantly returned to her terrifying original form, with an aura even stronger than before. It turned out her approach was only a trick to absorb his soul force. Fang Ning had not even recovered yet. A painful claw mark suddenly appeared on his back. The force was so strong that it pushed him backward, but he still managed to keep his balance. After that attack, a deep wound was clearly visible on Fang Ning's back. Seeing this, the female demon became even more excited, with strange demonic energy constantly appearing around her. Without giving him time to recover, she launched another attack. A storm of attacks rained down. Although Fang Ning dodged most of them, he still suffered injuries in several places. Even the female demon was shocked to see his speed continuously increasing. Unable to land a single hit, she lost patience and let out an angry roar like a wild beast. Right after that, she charged forward again. A powerful attack aimed directly at Fang Ning's chest, but this time, he easily blocked the strike. Unwilling to give up, the female demon immediately attacked with her other hand. However, before she could hit him, Fang Ning slapped her hard, sending her face sideways. He frowned and scolded her for only causing trouble and doing evil. Dazed from the hit, the female demon glared and gritted her teeth. "You, Before she could finish, another slap struck her other cheek. "You what? Look at the wounds you caused on me." Not stopping there, Fang Ning pressed her head onto the table and declared, "I came here to eliminate evil creatures like you and let justice shine everywhere." The entire scene was recorded by his phone. The female demon's soul force began to collapse from the beating. Sensing the energy released, Zhang Li immediately became interested. Without hesitation, she quickly absorbed all the scattered soul force. After enjoying it, her face brightened as she repeatedly praised how delicious it was. Meanwhile, Fang Ning clenched one fist and grabbed the female demon's collar with the other, questioning her identity and why she appeared here to harm people. Facing his intimidating tone, the female demon did not resist and only stayed silent. Then she suddenly burst into tears, making Fang Ning feel like he had become the villain instead. Her body strangely shrank smaller, while only her mouth remained unchanged. Crying, she repeatedly questioned, "Why are you treating me like this?" The dark aura around her slowly faded away, revealing the true appearance of a familiar young girl. Looking closer, Fang Ning realized she was Lian Xiang. After confirming her identity, countless thoughts appeared in his mind. If he could uncover the truth behind Haiyuan Elementary School through Lian Xiang, this video would definitely attract many viewers. So he quickly asked, "What exactly happened? How did you die back then? Why did you attack me just now? Is there anyone else in this school besides you?" The endless questions caused Lian Xiang's expression to change. Tears kept falling as if she had remembered something terrifying. Finally, she hugged Fang Ning and cried, "It was him, he forced me. I never wanted to do this." But with so little information, Fang Ning had no idea who she was talking about. Her words reminded him of the time when he himself had suffered oppression. Anger rose in Fang Ning's heart. He kept wondering who this person was and how a pitiful girl like Lian Xiang could suffer such cruelty. He pulled Lian Xiang into his arms again and comforted her, promising to help. She only needed to tell him who was behind everything. Hearing this, Lian Xiang slowly began explaining everything about that person to Fang Ning. However, before she could finish, a strange black void suddenly appeared behind her, constantly pulling her body deeper inside. Even though Fang Ning desperately reached out to hold her, the outcome could not be changed. Before his eyes, Lian Xiang was slowly dragged away, tears streaming down her face. In the end, she completely disappeared into the darkness, leaving Fang Ning with only helplessness. But things were far from over. From the void, strange black energy surged out, followed by the appearance of a terrifying Gisk demon. It opened its mouth full of fangs and roared, "Damn you! How dare you touch my Lian Xiang!" Driven by rage, the demon immediately swung its massive rough fist toward Fang Ning with overwhelming force. The huge gap in strength left him unable to find any way to defend himself. While his mind was still in chaos, Zhang Li appeared without warning and stood before him to protect her husband. As the giant fist descended, she quickly created a barrier to block the attack for both of them. However, the terrifying shockwave from the collision was far beyond what an ordinary person like Fang Ning could endure. It sent him crashing into a nearby wall in pain. Seeing his condition, Zhang Li immediately lost focus and turned her gaze toward him. That opening allowed the Gisk demon to land a brutal claw attack on her. Fang Ning's consciousness slowly faded, but his eyes remained fixed on Zhang Li. She was being pressed close by the demon's sharp fangs. When he finally woke up, everything before him had completely changed. Somehow, Zhang Li had already taken him safely outside. Fang Ning opened his eyes in her arms, looking completely shocked. What confused him was that they were both sitting on a tree. Seeing that he had awakened, the female demon could not hide her joy and smiled excitedly. Meanwhile, Fang Ning was still recovering from the dizziness after losing consciousness. So the moment he moved, he lost his balance and almost fell down. Luckily, the female demon quickly used magic to help him land safely. After calming down and observing his surroundings, Fang Ning realized they were already outside, at the entrance of Haiyuan Elementary School. Thinking about Lian Xiang, he became frustrated. The image of that ugly monster kept appearing in his mind, making his mood even heavier. At this moment, the female demon revealed that there was an extremely special delicacy inside. Since he had been unconscious, Fang Ning immediately asked what happened afterward. According to Zhang Li, the giant demon inside was indeed incredibly powerful, and she did not have enough soul force to defeat it. However, what satisfied her most was that the video had been completed. Now she could peacefully enjoy her spoils. As soon as she finished speaking, a giant finger appeared, releasing a strange aura. Zhang Li looked at it greedily, as if it was part of the giant demon's body. Seeing that object, Fang Ning was stunned and asked what it was and where she got it from. The female demon calmly replied that it was a rare delicacy. While carrying him out, she simply took it along. But Fang Ning was still confused. No matter how he looked at it, it was just a giant finger. How could anyone eat that? Hearing this, the female demon only shook her head helplessly. She gave no further explanation and directly used a spell, transforming the finger from a physical object into a gaseous form. All the soul force inside was quickly absorbed completely. After finishing the absorption, she looked satisfied and repeatedly praised how delicious it was. While the female demon was still enjoying the aftertaste, a Seven-colored glow suddenly appeared from her forehead and shot straight into Fang Ning. Once the energy entered his body, all his exhaustion instantly disappeared. Not only that, he also realized Zhang Li's soul force had been fully restored. Perhaps places filled with dense dark energy were truly suitable for her. Fang Ning looked at the female demon and asked what happened while he was unconscious, how she escaped with him, and where his abnormal strength and speed came from. Hearing his questions, Zhang Li excitedly wanted to explain, but after only a few words, the sunrise began appearing on the horizon. The first rays of sunlight reached her body, causing changes. Thin streams of dark energy continuously escaped from her, catching her attention. Because of that, the two decided to return to the apartment first and discuss everything later. Inside Fang Ning's residence, Zhang Li curled up in a corner, looking completely different from usual and making Fang Ning shiver when he looked at her. Knowing she existed as a spirit and could not resist sunlight, Fang Ning quickly closed the curtains. He immediately turned on the lights. Then he sat on the bed and let out a deep sigh. But before he could rest for long, Zhang Li suddenly rushed over and hugged him tightly with a happy expression. Unable to handle her clinginess, he pulled her away and told her to sit still. Yet the more he looked at her, the more Fang Ning felt like he was raising a pet that loved acting spoiled and staying close to him. When he gently touched her cheek, Zhang Li immediately showed a satisfied expression. Thinking the curtains might not block the sunlight forever, he asked where she would hide once the sun rose higher. Zhang Li pointed at him and answered that she could hide inside his body. The reason was that a contract had already formed between them. As long as Fang Ning existed, she would not easily disappear. Hearing this, he widened his eyes in shock and blurted out, "What the fucking what?" From beginning to end, he never knew about any contract. According to Zhang Li, when he proposed to her at the princess's tomb and she accepted, the contract had already been created. In other words, their fates were now connected. As long as Fang Ning continued finding suitable things for Zhang Li to absorb, she would gradually recover her strength. This symbiotic state meant the two were deeply linked, and one person's needs would directly affect the other. If Zhang Li failed to receive enough energy, Fang Ning would also be in danger, and if he died, she would no longer be able to exist. Simply put, their lives were now tied together. If one side suffered, the other would also face the consequences. However, with her current strength, Zhang Li confidently promised to protect Fang Ning no matter what. The flood of new information left him stunned, while also helping him understand the reason behind his previous exhaustion. The power that allowed him to fight Lian Xiang actually came from Zhang Li. In other words, he could borrow and synchronize with her strength. The stronger Zhang Li became, the greater the power Fang Ning received, and the same applied in reverse. Even Fang Ning himself could hardly believe that something straight out of a movie was actually happening to him. The scene returned to Haiyuan Elementary School. At this moment, Lian Xiang was suffering torture from a mysterious figure. The man kept threatening her because she failed the mission he gave her, and even tried to reveal his identity. He then grabbed Lian Xiang by the neck and coldly warned that if they did not eliminate them, they would be the ones to die. This person clearly had an extreme mindset, constantly claiming that Lian Xiang belonged to him. In his mind, she was never allowed to leave him. However, what concerned him most was sensing that Fang Ning's group would return here. Because of that, a plan to kill Fang Ning quickly formed in his mind. Time moved to the next morning. In the crowded and lively streets, Fang Ning sat in a restaurant and raised his hand, loudly asking the owner if his beef noodles were ready. The owner, Uncle Zhang, had a kind expression. While bringing out the noodles, he wondered why Fang Ning arrived so early today since he rarely woke up early. Hearing that, Fang Ning only smiled awkwardly and explained that he had something to do this morning. Clearly, he was a longtime customer of the restaurant. Uncle Zhang remembered his order perfectly, a large bowl of beef noodles, less spicy, extra green onions, and no cilantro. As soon as Fang Ning separated his chopsticks, the aroma of the noodles rushed into his nose, making him unable to hide his craving. Meanwhile, Uncle Zhang smiled, wished him a good meal, and returned to work. While picking up some noodles, Fang Ning suddenly remembered something and asked Zhang Li if she had said before that her soul force was running out. Hiding inside his body, Zhang Li immediately answered that it was true. Her power had been seriously depleted, and she needed more soul force to recover. While enjoying his meal, Fang Ning continued asking how she could restore her energy. Zhang Li explained that besides absorbing special things like the finger she ate before, another method was collecting fear from other people. Hearing this, Fang Ning was shocked. According to her, before meeting him, she had survived for a long time by absorbing fear. However, she remained in a vague state, almost without awareness, thoughts, or communication ability, like a person in a vegetative state. In most horror stories, ghosts spreading fear to maintain their existence and increase their power was completely normal. That was why terrifying creatures often appeared in this genre. Thinking carefully, hundreds of thousands of people who watched Fang Ning's early live streams had unknowingly provided Zhang Li with a large amount of soul force through their fear. This gradually helped her regain awareness and consciousness. At this moment, Fang Ning finished all the soup and placed the bowl down heavily, creating a clear sound. He then stood up and told Uncle Zhang to keep adding it to his tab as usual, and he would pay everything at the end of the month. Hearing that, Uncle Zhang helplessly waved his hand and told the kid to leave, adding that he could come help wash dishes when he had time. Fang Ning laughed and walked away from the restaurant, even raising his hand as if asking everyone to support his channel. Back at the apartment, sitting before the glowing computer screen with his phone in hand, Fang Ning began thinking about the impact of the new video. If the live stream performed well, this recorded footage would likely attract the same attention. Looking at the video quality, he felt satisfied with Zhang Li. Even though it was her first time using a smartphone, she used her abilities to control the device and create stable, professional shots beyond his expectations. With raw footage already at this level, only a little editing, background music, and narration were needed to turn it into outstanding content. More importantly, the video could scare many timid viewers, providing even more soul force for Zhang Li. The more Fang Ning thought about it, the more he felt this was a perfect win-win plan. Remembering their previous cooperation went smoothly and the cost was reasonable, he decided to continue working with director Wang's team and sent over all the footage from yesterday. After finishing his work, he casually put his phone aside and called Zhang Li. The moment she heard him, she turned around and rushed over, leaving Fang Ning surprised by her enthusiastic reaction. It turned out Zhang Li disliked her husband, calling her by her name directly because it made them feel distant. Hearing her explanation, Fang Ning helplessly shook his head and gave her a new nickname, Little Jiang. Unexpectedly, Zhang Li loved the intimate nickname and happily accepted it. After that, Fang Ning brought up what happened at Haiyuan Elementary School the previous night when they encountered the mysterious figure. But before he could finish, Zhang Li showed a greedy expression and confirmed that person was a delicacy. Taking the chance, Fang Ning asked if there was any way to eliminate him. After all, this was related to his Witcher project. The footage from yesterday was still incomplete and lacked a proper ending. If they could return to Haiyuan Elementary School, uncover the truth, and create a complete story, this video would definitely attract far more attention. Moreover, Fang Ning still remembered his promise to bring Lianxiang back, while the secrets inside that school remained unsolved. However, with Zhang Li's current strength, she was still unable to fight the mysterious enemy. To do so, she needed to recover her lost hairpin. Although Zhang Li had absorbed a lot of soul force recently, her memories had only returned little by little. Among them, she clearly remembered that about half a year ago, her hairpin was taken away by someone. At that time, she only acted on instinct, occasionally appearing at the princess's tomb without fully recovering her awareness. To Zhang Li, that hairpin held special meaning. She kept asking Fang Ning to help her find it, with a pitiful look in her eyes. Since their fates were now connected, helping her recover the item was only natural. However, Fang Ning still wondered if the hairpin alone would truly allow Zhang Li to defeat that mysterious figure. Hearing this, Zhang Li immediately became confident and claimed that with the hairpin and her current abilities combined, she would easily deal with him. But the problem was how to find it. Fang Ning had never even seen the hairpin's exact appearance, let alone knew where the person who took it was. From her remaining fragmented memories, Zhongli remembered 3 tomb robbers. 2 were scared into madness, while the last one somehow escaped successfully. The hairpin was most likely still in his possession. However, that happened half a year ago, and it was possible that person had already left the city. Zhongli quickly rejected that possibility. Thanks to the soul force she absorbed recently, she could vaguely sense the location of the jade hairpin, and it seemed to still be somewhere in this city. Therefore, their current goal was to find the hairpin first. Once she recovered it, Zhongli's strength would improve greatly. Then they would return to Haiyuan Elementary School to continue investigating the truth and complete the unfinished story. Just hearing about returning to a place with delicious energy made Zhongli unable to hide her excitement. But this was not the time to delay. Fang Ning immediately took out his phone and prepared to search for information about the tomb robbery from that year. However, before he could do anything, a sudden notification appeared on the screen and caught his attention. Checking his phone, he found a message from Director Wang saying the video he sent earlier had been fully edited. There was also a warning message from the authorities, stating that several intentional injury cases had recently appeared near Haiyuan City, and residents were advised to avoid going out alone during sensitive hours. The news made Fang Ning feel uneasy. His instincts told him the world around him was becoming abnormal, because ordinary cases would not cause authorities to issue such a widespread warning. The scene shifted to Yongdai Financial Center, where Director Wang's studio and his team were located. An employee who always kept a cigarette in his mouth was buried among piles of documents, letting out a tired sigh. The reason was simple. Recently, the studio had barely received any new projects. If this continued, the entire team would soon fall into trouble. Aside from Fang Ning's order a few days ago, they had almost no other clients. Every time someone mentions Fang Ning's name, the employee with the cigarette became annoyed and told everyone to stop bringing him up. Just remembering the danger they faced during the Princess Tomb exploration video made him uncomfortable. The black-haired young man sitting nearby quietly told his coworker that he planned to finish the month and quit. Although Director Wang treated them well, finding a new job was necessary, or unemployment was almost certain. The proof was that Brother Gao had already left yesterday. The cigarette-smoking employee did not argue. He simply lowered his head onto the desk and complained that after paying the studio rent at the end of the month, Director Wang might not even have enough money to pay everyone's salaries. Just then, Director Wang suddenly walked in. His face was filled with excitement as he loudly announced that they finally had work. The 3 men who had just been sighing in despair instantly changed their attitude and sat upright, looking like they had been working seriously all along. Quickly putting on a serious expression, the cigarette-smoking employee coughed a few times and asked Director Wang what job they would handle this time. Director Wang smiled excitedly, slammed his hand on the desk, and announced that the details had already been sent to the group chat. The client this time was still Fang Ning. Hearing that name, the cigarette-smoking employee turned pale as if struck by lightning. In his mind, he could already see himself following Fang Ning into strange places for another live stream. He quickly said that staying alive was more important and they should refuse this job. The other 2 also agreed repeatedly. However, unlike their worries, this task was only video editing. According to the deal, the studio would receive 1,000 yuan for post-production, plus a bonus if the video became popular. After downloading the footage, the cigarette-smoking employee watched it briefly and commented that ghost hunting content was already too common and would be difficult to attract attention. The 2-haired employee behind him agreed, saying the previous video's success was mostly due to luck. Still, getting 1,000 yuan just for editing was already pretty good. As soon as he finished speaking, Director Wang rushed over, knocked him on the head, and firmly declared that this time was completely different. This video would definitely explode in popularity. Based on the quality of the original footage Fang Ning provided, he was absolutely confident that their studio was about to turn things around. It might even create a major impact in the content creation industry. After that, Director Wang and the 3 team members sat before the screen and watched the entire video. Images appeared one after another with a familiar voice. "Hello everyone, I am the leader of the beggar gang, Ao Lang. It is 1 in the morning and I am currently standing at the abandoned Haiyuan Elementary School." Everything seemed normal at first, until the 2-haired employee noticed something strange in the video. His eyes widened in shock as he immediately called everyone's attention. Pointing at the screen, he urgently told everyone to look closely at the moving comb. "Look at that comb." Before anyone could react, he became so excited that he grabbed the cigarette-smoking employee by the collar and shook him hard. The other man immediately coughed violently, his face turning red as he shouted that he could not breathe. After being released, the two-haired employee quickly apologized. The cigarette-smoking employee calmly lit his cigarette again and said it was just a comb, so what was there to fear? That calm attitude lasted only until the scene of Fang Ning facing the female demon appeared. The person who had stayed calm the longest became the first to collapse, dropping into his chair as if all his strength had vanished, under the shocked looks of his co-workers and boss. What he could not understand was why everything in the video felt so real. How did the female demon float in the air? Was there some hidden mechanisms or special effect? Even Director Wang found it unbelievable, especially the scenes where the monsters disappeared and then fully regenerated before their eyes. Even more terrifying was that after more than 10 years in video production, Director Wang still could not find any trace of editing or special effects, although he had watched the video countless times. Every time he replayed it, he still felt chills running down his spine. When the video ended, the two-haired employee continued raising questions about Lian Xiang. How did she die? Who was behind everything? And was the story in the video connected to the mysterious case from more than 10 years ago? In fact, Director Wang had secretly visited the city library to search for related information. Luckily, he found the newspaper issue from that year. What shocked him was that the girl in the video looked exactly like the girl in the old newspaper photo. More importantly, even the untouched original footage already had incredible appeal. Therefore, he was certain that once the video was released, it would attract huge attention. If everything went as expected, the team would also receive an additional bonus from their agreement with Fang Ning. Thinking about the extra income at the end of the month, all three employees became excited. People often say money is the strongest motivation for office workers. So the moment they heard about the bonus, the three instantly regained their spirit and promised to finish the job perfectly and turn this video into a hit. After around 4 hours of work, the final product was finally completed. After countless hours in front of the screen, the team finished editing the video sent by Fang Ning. Besides editing the video, they also created a creepy thumbnail with the title, "The Truth Behind the Teenage Girl Suicide Case 10 Years Ago." The work was already about 90% done. Only the audio enhancement and background music for the climax scenes remained. The result completely exceeded expectations, making Director Wang praise them non-stop. In his eyes, the post-production quality had surpassed normal standards and reached a whole new level. However, the young man stayed humble, saying Fang Ning's original content was already fascinating, so editing it was not too difficult. Because of this, Director Wang ordered the staff to send the video directly to him so he could upload it to the social media platform himself. Hearing that, the Tubang shared guy was shocked and asked if he planned to upload it immediately or send it to Fang Ning for approval first. Director Wang simply raised his finger with a confident look and said that was unnecessary. Fang Ning fully trusted their ability, so they only needed to finish editing and release it. At another company, thousands of employees worked there every day. Among them was a department responsible for reviewing videos. The 40-year-old man was named Tao Ping, a content reviewer. Coincidentally, after Director Wang uploaded the video, Tao Ping was the one assigned to review it. Since he watched countless similar videos every day, he had already lost interest in horror exploration content. Recently, this type of content had appeared everywhere. Most were just cheap comedy with poor quality and no highlights. So Tao Ping naturally assumed Fang Ning's video would be the same. Everything seemed normal until one scene appeared on the screen, making even someone tired of watching such videos stare in shock. It showed a giant demon with a terrifying appearance. Every detail looked unbelievably realistic, from its teeth to its expression, creating a chilling feeling. The scene shocked Tao Ping so much that while pouring water, he jumped and dropped everything in his hands. His scream after getting burned by hot water echoed across the office and instantly attracted everyone's attention. What was surprising was that even while in pain, he refused to look away from the screen and kept saying, "What kind of video is this? It's so addictive." Right after that, he quickly called his coworkers over. "Hey, come here and watch this video." Hearing Tao Ping's excited voice, everyone gathered around to see what happened. Many complained that recent videos lacked creativity and became boring after a few minutes. It had been a long time since they saw Tao Ping this excited. After watching it, he confidently declared that this was a high-quality product and would soon become a huge online sensation. Of course, nobody believed him until the video started playing. From then on, everyone silently watched the screen with complete focus. Even after the video ended, many still thought there was more left. The steady camera work and vivid effects made it hard to believe this was filmed with just a phone. Although it felt like real footage, the visual effects were no worse than many movies. This rare combination left Dao Ping full of admiration. He then became curious about who was behind these incredible scenes. Back with Fang Ning, he was walking under the fading evening light while letting out a long yawn. While talking with the female ghost, he said thoughtfully, "Based on the clues you gave me, I investigated news from half a year ago. Near the village beside the princess tomb, people saw 3 suspicious individuals acting strangely, as if they were searching for something around the village. After receiving the information from the villagers, the police immediately arrived, but they only caught 2 people. Both had records as repeat grave robbers, while the third person's whereabouts remained unknown. The 2 suspects were in an extremely unstable mental state, as if they had witnessed something terrifying. During detention, they kept screaming 2 words, 'There is a ghost.' Later, both were sent to prison, but the case still had unanswered questions. The authorities found no signs of digging around the princess tomb, so whether a tomb robbery really happened and where the actual tomb was located remained a mystery. The person who took Zhang Li's hairpin was definitely no ordinary person. After using the chaos to disappear, did he have enough time to erase all traces from the scene? There might be another hidden person behind the third suspect, or he could have some connection with Haiyuan Elementary School. Based on the direction Zhang Li sensed, the lost hairpin was somewhere around this area, which was why Fang Ning came here. Just then, Zhang Li suddenly appeared, startling Fang Ning. She confirmed that the hairpin was very close. Hearing that, Fang Ning looked around and reminded her not to appear casually. There were many people nearby, and being seen would cause trouble. Luckily, the female ghost was obedient, making him feel slightly relieved. He promised she could come out freely once they arrived. What confused Fang Ning was that it was not even completely dark, yet the streets were already empty. He wondered if it was because of the police warning. After walking further, Fang Ning stopped at another road and asked Zhang Li which direction to take. From his palm, Zhang Li's small hand slowly reached out and pointed in one direction. Fang Ning instinctively followed the direction she pointed. Surprisingly, it led to an alley that had been sealed off, with many curious people gathered around watching. Everyone's faces were filled with shock, because what appeared before them was a terrifying dried corpse. The police were also guarding the scene, proving that this case was far from simple. At that moment, the scarfist officer slowly smoked and asked his colleague, "Xiao Wang, what do you think about this case?" Meanwhile, Fang Ning quietly blended into the crowd and moved closer. People kept discussing the corpse because it looked exactly like a mummy. What made everyone more uneasy was that this was already the 3rd murder case in the city. The sense of danger kept growing, especially since the previous cases from months ago were equally mysterious. After moving through the crowd, Fang Ning finally reached the police barrier and caught the scarfist officer's attention. The young bowl-cut officer looked up and replied, "You mean my analysis of this case?" According to his analysis, the victim likely died around 3 in the morning the previous day. There were no signs of attack on the body, and no unusual evidence was left behind. More importantly, the killer seemed very familiar with the surveillance camera locations because the investigation found no useful clues. The strange part was that the cause of death was exactly the same as the previous 2 cases. The forensic report showed sudden heart failure, but none of the victims had any history of heart disease. The bowl-cut officer believed this was almost certainly a serial murder case, and the victims appeared to be chosen randomly. Since the killer completely avoided the cameras and left no signs of direct contact, the most likely theory was the use of poison. However, the scarfist officer rejected that possibility. The examination showed no drugs or toxins inside the victims' bodies that could explain their deaths. Besides, turning a corpse into a mummy-like state could never be considered a natural death. Hearing that, the bowl-cut officer could only scratch his head helplessly. "Master, I really give up this time." The killer left absolutely no trace, like an invisible ghost. The scarfist officer took another puff of his cigarette and patted his colleague's shoulder. "Eliminate every impossible possibility. No matter how unbelievable the answer is, it will be the truth." Then he suggested that the higher-ups quickly issue a warning to to advise people to avoid going out at night. Other than that, the remaining work could only be handed over to specialized departments for further investigation. Night slowly fell. The scene shifted to an abandoned high-rise building, worn down by years of neglect. Strangely, in this silent place, a man was standing before a flickering candle. In his hand was a hairpin that looked exactly like Zhang Li's. He slowly raised it toward the candle and whispered, "My lord, the time has come." At that moment, a cold wind suddenly swept through, instantly extinguishing the burning candle. On the wall opposite the man, an unknown entity slowly appeared. Its bizarre form, covered with countless overlapping eyes, created a terrifying sight. Its mouth slowly opened, revealing sharp teeth and a twisting tongue. It spoke excitedly, "Oh, is it time to hunt again? Night has arrived. Please prepare, my lord. We can leave at any moment." "Ha ha 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 ha. Well done, little one." As the voice faded, a creature resembling a smaller version of itself crawled onto the man's body and proudly declared that choosing him among the three was the right decision. With his help, the police were completely unable to track their whereabouts. "This great king's invincible soul weapon is in my hands. Even a level 4 spirit is nothing to fear, let alone those weak humans. By the time that slow human prey finds us, we will have already completed our evolution and left this place." After saying that, the creature kept urging the man to leave quickly, because tonight was the moment to hunt. At a nearby drink shop, Fong Ning sat alone, slowly drinking water. Just then, Zhang Li used her soul sense to inform him that the aura she sensed earlier was gradually weakening. According to the female ghost's judgment, the dried corpse found earlier was very likely related to the person they were searching for. The reason was that the victim's body still carried the familiar aura of Zhang Li's hairpin. While Fang Ning was thinking about these clues, Zhang Li suddenly sensed the hairpin's location outside and immediately told him, causing him to jump up in surprise. Based on the direction of the connection, the person Zhang Li mentioned was likely among the people currently in front of Fang Ning. Although the signal was unclear, she was certain the target was one of them. Without hesitation, Fang Ning placed money on the table and rushed outside, casually telling the waiter to keep the change. However, when the waiter saw the money left behind, he immediately broke into a cold sweat. A moment later, he angrily smashed the cup and shouted, "My God!" He ordered nothing, only drank hot water and sat here for hours. Then he leaves 1 yuan and says, "Keep the change?" What change? Outside, Fang Ning blended into the crowded streets, filled with people everywhere. The crowd made Zhang Li lose her ability to locate the hairpin because the connection between her and it was heavily blocked. So Fang Ning decided to approach people one by one. Once he got close enough, Zhang Li could identify the target. But before he could act, a woman suddenly noticed him. She quickly walked over, linked her arm with his, and smiled. "Handsome, want to have a drink with me?" She even suggested finding another place to chat after drinking, leaving Fang Ning unsure how to respond. If this continued, he would not be able to work with Zhang Li anymore. So Fang Ning immediately removed her hand and said he was busy. But the woman became even more persistent and hugged him tightly. At that moment, Zhang Li appeared and unceremoniously pinched Fang Ning's waist. The sudden pain acted like a trigger, making him react much more strongly than usual. The woman was pushed to the ground under everyone's confused gaze. Just when Fang Ning thought it was over, a group of aggressive men in suits suddenly appeared. The leader looked at him coldly. "Kid, you've got some courage. You dare cause trouble on our territory." Facing the situation, Fang Ning immediately raised his hand and explained that it was all just a misunderstanding. Unfortunately, the group had no intention of listening. They thought he still did not know fear. Following the leader's order, one of them stepped forward to deal with Fang Ning. But the moment he grabbed Fang Ning's shoulder, his arm was twisted backward, making him scream in pain. Without stopping, Fang Ning quickly subdued him with clean and decisive movements. Seeing this, the leader could not help praising him, admitting that Fang Ning truly had some skill. His calm attitude was not without reason. In his eyes, this place was not somewhere others could act however they wanted. Right after that, the men rushed forward one after another, swinging their sticks directly at Fang Ning. At the same time, in another alley, a drunken man staggered home. He kept complaining that the real estate business had become harder recently. Without drinking, deals could not be discussed, yet the work still went nowhere after wasting the whole night entertaining clients. Everything seemed ordinary until the man stumbled and fell, only to be caught by a familiar figure. In his drunken daze, he instinctively thanked the person in front of him for helping him stand. The killer kept supporting him and walked him quite far. The drunk man casually said that he should visit his house someday, and he would treat him well. Hearing that, the other man narrowed his eyes and silently thought that day would never come. Before the man could understand what was happening, he threw a hairpin at him. Then he leaned close to the man's ear and spoke like he was hypnotizing him. "Leave this alley and keep walking straight. You will reach home." Under that strange influence, the man immediately followed the order without any doubt. Taking that chance, the strange creature appeared again. Its blood-red eyes locked onto the target. The man only stopped when he suddenly realized he had reached the end of the road, with nowhere else to go. At that moment, the demon began controlling the soul energy leaking from the surrounding walls. It bound the victim's hands and feet. Then, with a terrifying face and sharp fangs, it rushed toward the man. Only then did he realize the danger was right in front of him and desperately tried to escape. But it was already too late, as his body was slowly devoured by the creature. Strange energy covered the man's entire body and entered through his mouth, while the demon let out a series of delighted laughs. Streams of soul energy continuously escaped from the victim's eyes and mouth, all quickly absorbed by the demon. It had never been this excited before, because after devouring this person, it would finally have enough power to break through to level 4. Meanwhile, the man could only struggle in unbearable pain. His mind was filled with one desperate thought: this is really the end. At the critical moment, Fang Ning suddenly appeared. A lightning-fast kick slammed into the demon's face, saving the man at the last second. The terrifying force sent the demon flying, rolling across the ground before being thrown far away. It finally crashed into a wall, causing a loud explosion as dust filled the area. "Are you all right? Can you still hold on?" Those were the first words Fang Ning asked after saving him. After being strangled and losing a large amount of vitality, the man looked extremely weak, but he still forced himself to reply that he was alive. However, right after thanking Fang Ning, he immediately fainted on the ground. Fang Ning then asked Zhang Li if she was certain the hairpin was on that guy. The female ghost quickly confirmed that she could clearly sense its presence. Across from them, the little demon became furious, with streams of blood-red energy rising around its body. It growled, "What are you?" It guessed Fang Ning was a soul hunter and never expected him to arrive so quickly. "Do you know who you have offended? Leave now and let me deal with the fat guy behind you. I can still spare your life. Otherwise, you will die without a whole body." Facing the threat, Fang Ning pointed directly at it. "Someone like me cannot stand by while you harm innocent people. I do not know what status you have among soul hunters, but if you want to seek your own death, I will grant your wish." After saying that, it mocked him, "And it is midnight now. What do you mean by broad daylight? Is something wrong with your head?" As soon as it finished speaking, it sent streams of soul energy rushing toward Fang Ning. The strange attack shocked him. Luckily, Zhang Li immediately rushed out of his body, destroyed the soul energy, and removed the danger, while Fang Ning was still coughing from the energy that entered his throat. The little demon on the other side stared in disbelief. It never expected its soul technique to be broken so easily. Fang Ning circulated spiritual energy around his body and smiled proudly. "I broke your move because I am obviously more handsome." After saying that, he accelerated instantly, gathered power in his leg, and charged forward with his fist clenched. However, the demon reacted extremely fast, transforming into a soul form and narrowly avoiding the attack. After crashing close to the wall ahead, Fang Ning immediately called Zhang Li out for support. Zhang Li instantly attacked and absorbed all the soul energy the demon had gathered. As she absorbed it, she looked delighted as if enjoying a delicious meal. Meanwhile, the demon was completely stunned. It trembled while watching, unable to understand who these two people were. They had stolen all the power it accumulated for more than a year. Even its abilities were useless against Fang Ning, leaving it with only one thought: escape. But Fang Ning had no intention of letting it get away. He immediately closed in and punched straight at its face. However, the demon reacted quickly, dodged the attack, and jumped into the air. As if he had seen through the enemy's movement path, Fang Ning stomped on the ground and shot into the air with his fist ready. His next strike landed perfectly, sending the demon crashing to the ground in pain. Before it could recover, it saw Fang Ning's foot pressing firmly on its stomach. Fang Ning then turned to Zhang Li and asked how they should deal with it. Her answer was simple: just devour it. Right after that, Zhang Li rushed forward, preparing to consume the demon. Knowing it had reached a dead end, the demon desperately cut open its own stomach to take out something. What appeared was Jiang Li's hairpin. The demon immediately used it to release powerful streams of soul energy toward them. The power released from the hairpin exceeded their expectations, forcing Fang Ning and Jiang Li to separate and dodge. When they finally stabilized themselves, the demon had already escaped without a trace. Before Fang Ning could chase after it, a flashlight from afar shone directly at him. The police arrived and ordered him to stop and raise his hands. But before he could react, the bowl-cut officer rushed behind him and restrained him. Fang Ning became annoyed, thinking that he had not even raised his hands yet and was already locked down. How was he supposed to raise them now? After pushing Fang Ning against the wall, the young officer reported to his superior that the suspect had been captured. At the same time, the scarfist officer pulled out his gun and aimed directly at the restrained Fang Ning. However, after observing carefully, he quickly realized Fang Ning was not the person they were looking for. He lowered his gun and told his partner to release him. The bowl-cut officer froze in embarrassment, while Fang Ning gave him an unfriendly glance. The young officer pointed at the unconscious fat man and said his condition was exactly like the previous victims. If Fang Ning's was not the killer, then who else could be more suspicious? While Fang Ning tried explaining that he was just an innocent citizen and not the murderer, the two officers confirmed that there were no traces of a third person nearby. Looking at the camera mounted on the nearby wall, the scarfist officer believed that if the killer had appeared here, he should have been recorded. But the murderer had never shown any weakness before, so expecting him to make such a simple mistake was unrealistic. Hearing that, the bowl-cut officer punched the wall in frustration. He felt helpless facing a killer who was almost invisible, as if they could only watch him continue committing crimes. At that moment, the fat man slowly woke up and immediately confirmed to the police that Fang Ning was the person who saved him. The young officer quickly stepped forward and questioned him about what happened, how much he remembered, and whether he knew he was the first survivor of the recent cases. The endless questions scared the man so much that he felt he might die from fear before being killed by a ghost. After calming down, he began telling them what he had experienced. Unfortunately, before he could say much, he fainted again, so the bowl-cut officer immediately called an ambulance. After that, the scarfist officer asked Fang Ning if he was a soul hunter. In reality, Fang Ning had no idea what that meant. However, remembering that the demon had mentioned this title before, he guessed it was likely an organization dealing with supernatural incidents. Their stance was still unknown, and Jiang Li or even himself could possibly be treated as dangerous targets, so staying cautious was the best choice. While Fang Ning was thinking of a careful answer to hide the truth, the scarfist officer seemed to have already seen through everything. In his eyes, Fang Ning was still too young. With years of investigation experience, the officer could tell from his expression alone that Fang Ning had no idea what a soul hunter was. His thoughts were almost written all over his face. The young man then handed Fang Ning an identification card and calmly reminded him that if he wanted to hide the truth, he first needed to control his eyes and facial expressions. The card clearly showed the name Zhang Tiandao. He also said that if Fang Ning encountered trouble in the future, he could contact him. The scarfist officer advised Fang Ning to leave because anything related to evil spirits was extremely dangerous. After thanking him, Fang Ning quickly left, while the officer felt this young man was quite unusual. Since the killer had disappeared without a trace, the case was temporarily over. The scarfist officer and the others left the scene one after another. However, on top of a high-rise building, the grave robber and the little demon had already watched everything unfold, their hearts filled with anger and heavy concern. That man was Kui Jing. His face darkened as he cursed in frustration. He was only one soul away from completing his goal, yet all the soul power he had gathered was stolen. The little ghost beside him also gritted its teeth and shouted, "Let's go to another city and continue the hunt. I will remember this debt forever." With no other choice, he put the little ghost back into its cage. The ghost immediately replied, "Understood, my lord." After saying that, his figure shot off the skyscraper roof and rushed straight toward the street below. In the silent night, another figure was also rushing through the city streets. While moving forward, Fang Ning asked Zhang Li beside him, "Lear, can you still sense Zhang Gai's location?" Zhang Li quickly answered, "Yes, ahead. It is injured, so it cannot have gone far." Hearing that, Fang Ning continued, "Good, but earlier you had a chance to capture that shadow demon. Why did you avoid it?" Zhang Li gently landed on his shoulder and said helplessly, "That middle-aged man carried an extremely heavy yin aura. If I appeared before him, I might not have been able to escape safely." Her words reminded Fang Ning of what happened earlier, making him shiver slightly. He asked, "Then what kind of soul technique did that shadow demon use? That black shadow completely trapped me." Zhang Li slowly explained, "Soul techniques are extremely powerful arts. To break them, one needs soul power or spiritual power. However, the person breaking it must have greater strength than the caster." Fang Ning became even more confused. "What exactly is spiritual power?" Zhang Li answered, "The power my husband used unconsciously just now was spiritual power. Unlike soul power, which only exists in spirits, spiritual power exists within every human. The special thing is that most people can only awaken it when they are close to death. At that moment, their hidden potential can erupt far beyond normal limits." After hearing this, Fang Ning was still puzzled. "But didn't you say you lost your memories? How do you know all this so clearly?" Zhang Li hesitated before replying, "Over the past 2 days, after tasting some delicious food, fragments of my memories have occasionally appeared." Fang Ning immediately realized something. He guessed that Zhang Li's memories were returning as her power recovered. He asked, "So I failed to escape earlier because my spiritual power was too weak?" Zhang Li immediately denied it. "No, my soul power has strengthened the spiritual power inside you, so it is definitely stronger than his soul power. The problem is that you only use spiritual power to increase your speed and physical strength. To break that soul skill, you must learn to guide and release spiritual power outward." Fang Ning looked at his hands in confusion. "Release spiritual power? But how do I do that?" Zhang Li patiently explained, though she seemed slightly awkward. "Normally, this requires a long time of cultivation and constant training." Suddenly, her eyes lit up as if she had thought of something. She happily said, "I have a way." Right after speaking, she returned to her original form, wrapped her arms around Fang Ning and whispered, "Husband, do not move. Focus sensing the spiritual power inside your body." Before Fang Ning could understand what was happening, she moved closer and gave him a deep kiss. At that moment, both of their consciousnesses entered Fang Ning's mind sea and sank deeper and deeper. Looking at the completely unfamiliar scene before him, Fang Ning was shocked. "Where is this place?" Zhang Li slowly moved away from him, floating in the air as she explained, "This is your sea of consciousness, your spiritual world. Because we have a contract connecting us, I can bring you here by creating a deeper link." Fang Ning was still confused. "A spiritual world? Then why did you bring me here? We still need to chase that shadow demon. If it escapes, won't all our efforts tonight be wasted?" Despite Fang Ning's impatience, Zhang Li wrapped her arms around his neck and comforted him softly. "Husband, do not worry. Time moves 10,000 times slower in this sea of consciousness than outside. That shadow demon cannot escape far. Moreover, only here can I help you master spiritual power in a short time." As she spoke, Zhang Li's figure became exposed as her clothes disappeared. At the same time, Fang Ning's clothes also vanished completely. Fang Ning immediately became embarrassed, his face turning red. "Lear, what is happening? Where did our clothes go?" Zhang Li remained calm as she leaned against him and explained, "Clothes will interfere with your ability to sense spiritual energy, so they must be removed." Before he could recover from his surprise, she continued guiding him. "Close your eyes and feel the spiritual energy coming from your core. Follow my instructions and guide the spiritual power through your entire body." Fang Ning pushed aside thoughts and followed Zhang Li's guidance step by step. Her gentle movements passed over his body, helping him understand the flow of spiritual energy. In the real world, Fang Ning's body slowly began to shine with dazzling light. Moments later, he opened his eyes, and golden flames burned brightly in his pupils. Feeling the surging power inside him, he muttered, "So this is spiritual energy." The moment he finished speaking, he leaped into the sky and surpassed a 20-story building with one step. Just then, Zhang Li separated from his body and pointed into the distance. "It's over there." Fang Ning immediately looked in that direction and quickly spotted a black figure moving at incredible speed. Looking closer, he realized it was Jing. At the same time, the little demon inside Ku Jing sensed the approaching threat and hurriedly urged him, "Hurry, leave this place now." Ku Jing was shocked. "Is that soul hunter really that terrifying?" The little demon gritted its teeth. "He himself is not a threat. Without the one hiding inside him, he would have already died under my soul arts. But the soul power I sensed is at least level 5, even surpassing level 4. The feeling of danger grew stronger, and it continued urging, "Take me away immediately." Hearing this, Chu Jing quickly landed on the ground where a motorcycle had already been prepared. Approaching the vehicle, he calmly reassured the little demon, "Don't worry, my lord. Our base is protected by barriers and soul traps. If that soul hunter comes, he won't return." After saying that, Kui Jing got on the motorcycle and quickly started unlocking it. However, before he could start the engine, a cold voice suddenly came from behind. "So that's how it is." Kui Jing's expression changed. He jumped off the bike and cautiously looked around. From above, Fang Ning's voice echoed, "Using a living body to hide your presence, then splitting your route to avoid being tracked. You are the third tomb thief who escaped from the princess's tomb, aren't you?" Fang Ning smirked, took out a wanted notice and glanced at it. "If I remember correctly, your name is Kui Jing." Having his identity exposed, Jing's face stiffened, and his eyes became filled with caution. Without saying anything more, Fang Ning raised his hand and struck down with a thunderous attack. Kui Jing immediately drew his dagger to block. At the same time, the little demon rushed out of his body, pointed at Fang Ning and shouted, "Brat, don't push us too far." Surrounded by surging spiritual energy, Fang Ning coldly replied, "Push you too far? When you casually took other people's lives, did you ever think this day would come? Hand over the hairpin now, and it'll give you a painless death." Hearing this, the little demon laughed mockingly and reached into the cage. "As is expected, you are after my soul artifact. Since you want it so badly, I will let you see it yourself." After speaking, it took out the hairpin and held it up before Fang Ning. Instantly, ghost energy from all directions surged forward, covering Fang Ning and forming a dense black barrier around him. Beneath the little demon, a giant ghost dragon appeared and lifted it into the air. Looking down at Fang Ning buried in ghost energy, it sneered, "This is the price for challenging me. You made me waste so much soul power, so today I will take back everything with interest. You and the soul spirit inside you will experience a fate worse than death." However, as it looked into the thick ghost energy, surprise slowly appeared on its face. In an instant, golden light exploded and tore the ghost energy apart into countless fragments. The little demon widened its eyes in horror and shouted in disbelief, "Impossible! How can you break my soul art?" Without hesitation, it controlled the ghost dragon and sent it charging toward Fang Ning, intending to crush him. Fang Ning gathered spiritual energy into his arm and threw a powerful punch. His glowing fist pierced through the ghost dragon like a pillar of flame, causing it to shatter and explode into countless pieces. Trembling violently, the little demon stared wide-eyed and exclaimed, How can this happen?" Seeing the spiritual energy approaching, it hugged the hairpin tightly and retreated, gritting its teeth. "Damn it, you're only a mortal. How can you be this powerful?" With nowhere left to run, the little demon enlarged the hairpin into a giant hammer and slammed it down toward Fang Ning. Facing the attack, Fang Ning shouted, "Lier, finish it now." Zhang Li immediately rushed forward and condensed ghost energy into a shield to block the strike. A loud explosion erupted, shattering the barrier instantly and forcing Zhang Li to retreat. But at that moment, Fang Ning seized the chance, jumped into the air, and grabbed the floating hairpin. The moment he touched the soul artifact, a violent wave of ghost energy erupted and wrapped around his arm, locking his movements. Even as its body began to disappear, the little demon desperately held onto the hairpin and screamed, "You will never take it from me." The pressure from the ghost energy stopped Fang Ning from pulling his hand away, and he was shocked. What? The two sides fell into a stalemate. The little demon's ghost energy tightened around him, while Fang Ning could only grit his teeth and endure. Just then, Zhang Li appeared again. She rushed forward and absorbed all the ghost energy, binding Fang Ning, completely destroying the little demon's advantage. It immediately cried out in despair, "My soul artifact, my hairpin." The spiritual energy around Fang Ning burst brightly. He calmly said, "Earlier, you relied on the hairpin and Zhang Li's power to barely suppress me, but now it belongs to me." Without giving it another chance, he shouted, "Go to hell and repent." At the same time, a violent wave of spiritual energy pierced through the little demon's body, turning it into ashes. Only its head remained floating in the air. The little demon screamed unwillingly, "Return my soul artifact to me. I need it to become a level 4 spirit. I have not taken my revenge yet. I need that power. I refuse to accept this." Slowly, its screams turned into the cries of a young child. "Mother, where are you? Save me. I can't breathe underwater. I feel so miserable. I still haven't found my mother. I don't want to die." The voice gradually faded away. In its final moment, an innocent child's face appeared, before completely vanishing into nothingness. Right after that, fragments of the little demon's memories suddenly flooded into Fang Ning's mind, appearing in broken but vivid scenes. Quietly watching those memories, Fang Ning felt complicated emotions. He murmured, "This was its past?" Then he turned to Zhang Li, do you know about drowning newborn girls? Because of the belief that sons are more important than daughters, many families cruelly took the lives of their own baby girls simply because they were not boys. From the memories he saw, the little demon was once a newborn girl who was drowned by her own father. Her desire to live and the hatred of losing her life turned her into a spirit. The victims afterward were all seen by her as the shadow of that father. She killed them to make them feel the same suffocation and pain she once endured. That was how she released her resentment and the injustice she carried toward this world. After saying that, Fang Ning looked at Zhang Li and asked, "What about you, Lier? What made you stay in the princess's tomb for 1,000 years without leaving? What are you still holding on to?" The moment he finished speaking, a dagger suddenly cut through the air toward him. Fang Ning did not even turn around. He simply raised his hand and caught the blade. His cold voice sounded, "The spirit protecting you is gone, yet you still dare attack me? I thought you had already escaped while everything was chaotic." After speaking, he slightly tightened his grip. The dagger instantly shattered like a rotten branch. Seeing this, Ku Jing collapsed onto the ground in fear. His entire body trembled, and his eyes were filled with terror as he could not say a word. After a while, Ku Jing suddenly grabbed his head in panic and muttered repeatedly, "You killed it. I'm finished. They will find me. I will definitely die. I will definitely die." Fang Ning ignored his state. He lifted Ku Jing up like an empty sack. Ku Jing struggled and begged in panic, "Don't kill me. Please don't kill me." Fang Ning looked at him and calmly said, "I ask you answer. Understand?" With his throat being squeezed, Jing could not speak and could only nod repeatedly. Seeing this, Fang Ning finally released him. Even after being freed, Ku Jing still did not dare move under that cold gaze. Fang Ning continued, "Good, now answer me. What is your relationship with that spirit?" Sitting on the ground, Ku Jing gasped for breath and tried to calm himself before tremblingly explaining, "About half a year ago, I went to Changbaidao to look for business opportunities. He said there was a major job that needed people. I was desperate at the time. When I heard the huge reward, I immediately called 2 acquaintances to join me." Hearing this, Fang Ning frowned slightly. "Who is Changbaidao?" Ku Jing raised his head and cautiously explained, "He is an information broker in our world, an extremely capable middleman. He knows where valuable antiques are hidden, where treasures can be excavated, and he is also connected to a mysterious organization no one truly understands. Most of my past jobs came through him." After brief silence, he continued, "That mission was to enter the princess's tomb and retrieve an item. He did not explain much, only gave me a normal ceramic jar and said it was the key to opening the tomb and finding the target. After bringing the jar back, my curiosity got the better of me, so I opened it immediately. I never expected that the demon was sealed inside. It was more terrifying than anything I had ever encountered. That entire night, I was tortured until I collapsed. Then it took over my body and completely suppressed my consciousness. When I regained awareness, I was already inside the princess's tomb with my 2 partners. At one area, the ghost baby suddenly left my body and burrowed underground. Thinking my chance had come, I quickly told the others the truth. But just as I tried to escape, it emerged from the ground with a hairpin and possessed me again. Then countless vengeful spirits rose from the earth and attacked us. To survive, I had no choice but to obey it and kill for its protection. My 2 companions were dragged away by the spirits. The last thing I heard was that they went insane and were captured. I never wanted to kill anyone, but it said I would die instantly if I resisted. It also promised to help me escape pursuit and give me a fortune as long as I followed its orders. I only wanted to survive. My son is seriously ill and needs money for treatment. He is still waiting for me to return. I cannot die." After hearing this, Fang Ning's eyes turned cold. He looked down at Ku Jing and asked, "You say you cannot die. Then did those people you killed deserve to die? They also had families and loved ones. Their family's pain is far greater than your situation." Ku Jing was speechless. He collapsed to his knees and begged while crying, "I know I was wrong. I truly was wrong. Please don't kill me, and don't hand me over to the police. I know I do not deserve forgiveness. I destroyed too many families. But my son has already lost his mother, and now he only has me. Please, I beg you." Looking at the man repeatedly bowing before him, Fang Ning remained expressionless. He grabbed Ku Jing by the collar and shouted, "Don't apologize to me. Apologize to the families who lost their loved ones, to children who lost their fathers, and to wives who lost their husbands. Do you understand?" After saying that, he let go and continued, One last question. Where is Chong Baidao? How do you contact him? Jing stammered. Chong Baidao is extremely mysterious. No one knows his exact location. Most jobs are arranged online. Items are delivered to designated locations, and payments are sent to overseas accounts. If we need to meet, we can only wait for him to appear. No one knows where he is. Give me your phone. Jing was stunned. Huh? But before he could say more, he heard a cold command. Hurry. After checking Jing's phone for several minutes, Fang Ning operated it and said, Listen carefully. I am Fang Ning. This is how you contact me. If Chang Baidao appears again, report to me immediately. Understood? After speaking, he threw the phone back to Jing. Seeing Fang Ning about to leave, Jing froze and asked, Are you really letting me go? You're not handing me to the police? Fang Ning turned around with a faint smile. No need. Without that spirit protecting you, sooner or later the law will catch you. Before that happens, if you still want to save your son, use your time wisely. As for the families you harmed, I believe that demon left you something worth more than your son's medical fees, didn't it? Hearing this, Jing burst into tears. He lowered his head to the ground and choked out, Thank you, thank you. I understand what I must do now. Fang Ning did not want to continue and walked away while saying, If your son survives this illness, let him live an honest life. Do not let him follow the same wrong path as you. After finishing his words, his figure quickly disappeared, leaving Jing sitting alone on the road with a complicated expression. After a while, he smiled faintly and whispered, Fang Ning, thank you. After I finish what remains, I will turn myself in. Entering another ally, Fang Ning walked while talking with Zhang Li. Lear, do you think my decision was reasonable? Jing truly had his own hardships, but what he did was still unforgivable. I just don't want his son to follow the same path I once did. Zhang Li appeared from his body and gestured happily. Since my husband has already made his choice, don't worry about it anymore. You defeated such a powerful spirit in such a short time, and even helped me recover my hairpin. That is already amazing. After saying that, she rushed over and hugged Fang Ning. He quickly pushed her away and awkwardly replied, All right, I won't think about it anymore. But losing your hairpin was probably not just an accident, right? That spirit was likely only a pawn. I think there is someone else behind this. Do you remember anything about Chong Baidao? Hearing the question, Zhang Li immediately fell into deep thought. After a long while, she smiled and answered, I don't remember. Fang Ning could only laugh helplessly. Then why did you think for so long? Zhang Li puffed up her cheeks and protested, I really don't remember anything. Since my husband asked, I had to try thinking about it. I probably need more time to fully recover my memories and strength. Fang Ning sighed softly. All right, I'll admit I'm wrong. Let's go home. Hearing that, Zhang Li happily shouted, Let's go home. As they continued walking, Fang Ning thought quietly. Whoever was behind this, now that the hairpin had returned to Zhang Li, their plan must have been greatly affected. While walking, Fang Ning suddenly stopped. Zhang Li could not react in time and bumped into his back. Seeing her hold her head in pain, Fang Ning could not help but laugh. He took out the hairpin and handed it to her. Here, this belongs to you. Zhang Li gently moved her hair aside and shyly asked, Husband, can you put it on for me? Fang Ning reluctantly reached behind her head and replied, I really don't know what to do with you. Can't you do it yourself? His words caused Zhang Li's eyes to tremble slightly. A distant memory suddenly appeared in her mind. In that memory, someone was also standing before her, gently placing the hairpin in her hair and saying, Lier, I specially brought this hairpin back for you. The past and present overlapped. Under the moonlight, Fang Ning smiled and asked, So, do you like it? A warm feeling spread through Zhang Li's heart. All the emotions she had buried for so long surged up, leaving her speechless. Finally, she softly said, I like it. Seeing tears suddenly appear at the corner of her eyes, Fang Ning was stunned. But the tears kept flowing. Zhang Li wiped them away while smiling, I really like it. Tears continued falling one after another. At the same time, the soul power inside her suddenly erupted violently. The power surged like a raging tide, causing countless tears to appear in her clothes. After the final burst of energy, her clothes completely disappeared. Zhang Li's figure appeared before Fang Ning, leaving him completely flustered. He quickly covered his eyes, but it clearly did not help much. Avoiding the sight, he shouted, Again? This was already a new outfit. Big sis, can you stop destroying my clothes? At that moment, the soul power gathered again and formed a completely new outfit. At the same time, a delicate bracelet appeared on her ankle. The ancient-style clothing, identical to the one in her memories, slowly appeared. From the center of Zhang Li's forehead, countless golden rays of light shot out. One of them entered directly into Fang Ning's forehead. Feeling this power, he was shocked. This energy was far stronger than before. It surged into his body like endless waves crashing against the shore. With a loud roar, Fang Ning's aura suddenly exploded with terrifying force. In a distant area, two soul hunters immediately sensed this change. The red-haired woman exclaimed, "The spiritual energy over there is incredibly strong." The other person shook his head. "This fluctuation is unusual. It doesn't feel like one of ours. Let's deal with these creatures first, then go check it out." At that moment, a demonic hand moved slightly, and soul power began gathering inside it. A two-horned demon and countless bulging-eyed monsters appeared one after another. Receiving the order, they immediately charged toward the woman. She quickly sensed the danger. As they approached, she summoned her weapon and coldly snorted. With a single strike, all the demons were torn apart and reduced to fragments. Inside a dark skyscraper, two men in black also noticed the aura that had just erupted. The scarred man crossed his arms and said coldly, "The ghost baby's aura has disappeared. Was it the work of a soul hunter? I already warned it not to be arrogant." That person was Yuan Tun. Beside him, a white-haired man spoke. "Forget it. It was only an experiment. Its death means nothing. But we still need to investigate what happened and who took action. If Immortal Master asks, we need an answer. Let's go. The person behind it is no longer useful. Deal with him." This man was Chang Baidao. After receiving the order, he revealed a sinister smile and raised his hand toward the captive. Panic filled the man's face as he desperately begged, "Don't kill me, please. I told you everything you asked. You said you would let me go." Hearing that, the man's lips curled into a cold smile. "I lied to you." The moment he finished speaking, the captive's neck suddenly twisted and distorted. Soon after, his entire body began twisting violently until it completely lost its original shape. Elsewhere, a small object floated in the air before suddenly falling down. Zhang Tiandao noticed the strange light, and his expression immediately changed. This is. Seeing his unusual reaction, Xiao Wang asked, "Master, what's wrong? Is there something over there?" Zhang Tiandao quickly regained his composure and replied, "Nothing. I just feel like I forgot something." Then he said, "Xiao Wang, go rest first." Confused, he could only scratch his head and answer, "Then see you tomorrow at the police station." After Zhang Tiandao left, Xiao Wang whispered in confusion, "What's wrong with Master?" Meanwhile, Fang Ning was desperately regulating his breathing after absorbing that massive amount of spiritual energy. He never expected the process to be so dangerous. It felt like his body was about to explode. Just then, Zhang Li noticed someone approaching and hurriedly pulled him away while sweating. "We need to leave now." Not long after, the two returned home. As soon as they entered, Fang Ning closed the curtains and worriedly asked, "That pillar of light was so huge. It won't appear in the news tomorrow, right?" Seeing his anxious expression, Zhang Li gently explained, "It won't. Ordinary people cannot see spiritual energy unless it condenses into a physical form." Still curious, Fang Ning asked about the huge spiritual energy this time. Zhang Li guessed. A small part came from the ghost baby's soul power. Most of it was likely the remaining power inside the hairpin, probably only on a tenth of my peak strength. Hearing this, Fang Ning was shocked. "What? Only on a tenth? Then how strong were you at your peak?" Suddenly remembering something, Fang Ning stood up and asked, "Then did your memories recover? Did you remember anything?" Zhang Li looked at him and replied, "A little." But the moment she mentioned it, she held her head in pain. Seeing her like that, Fang Ning could not bear to ask more. He gently patted her head and said, "Forget it. If you can't remember, don't force yourself." Suddenly, she rushed forward and hugged him tightly. "No matter what happens, I will always stay by my husband's side." Just then, his phone suddenly received a new message. Director Wang sent a notification saying that his video had reached a trending position. Hearing this, Fang Ning immediately let go of Zhang Li, his eyes shining. "The video went viral? Haha, let me see." The numbers on the screen shocked him. In just 3 hours, it had surpassed 1.6 million views. The comments were also extremely lively. Some praised how exciting the video was, while others wished the beauty in the video would notice them. Looking at the data, Fang Ning excitedly shouted, "It's even more popular than the princess proposal video before." His mind instantly filled with visions of receiving advertisements, becoming a brand ambassador, and live streaming sales. Imagining that bright future, Fang Ning almost drooled. Just as he was lost in excitement, Zhang Li's voice sounded beside him. "Husband, look at this." Hearing that, Fang Ning immediately turned around to find her. Unexpectedly, Zhang Li appeared from his chest, frowned and said, "Quickly look inside your spiritual sea." Following her words, Fang Ning calmed himself and entered his spiritual sea. When both of them appeared inside, a magnificent scene unfolded before him. What are these? Countless fish were swimming throughout his spiritual sea, ranging from tiny ones to enormous ones. Seeing his shocked expression, Zhongli explained, "They are all the power of fear. Husband, you possess an enormous amount of this power." While he was observing carefully, she suddenly hugged him from behind, making him blush, then told him to close his eyes. In the blink of an eye, the clothes on both of them disappeared. Fang Ning kept his eyes closed, allowing those fish to merge into his body. Outside the house, his body sat in meditation as waves of energy continuously revolved around him. Suddenly opening his eyes, he thought quietly, "So this is the power of fear? Perhaps it was created from that viral video." He felt that even without Zhongli's help, he now had enough strength to fight against the ghost baby. Thinking of this, he smiled. Today really is a day full of good things. After that, Fang Ning went to take a shower. As the water flowed down, countless thoughts appeared in his mind. The ghost baby's death, the soul hunters, the mysterious police officer Zhang Tiandao, Zhongli's lost memories, and the mysterious organization behind the Princess Tomb incident. A completely new door seemed about to open. That world was more fascinating, but also filled with danger. Once he stepped inside, there was no way back. After taking a shower, he went to bed to rest after a long, exhausting day. But after sleeping for a while, an unbearable discomfort appeared in his body. Zhongli walked closer, gently stroked his head, and softly called out, "Husband." Then her eyes remained fixed on him. After that, she quietly laid down beside Fang Ning and fell asleep with him. Zhongli silently watched his face. Suddenly, her eyes turned red, and her trembling voice whispered, "More than 1,000 years have passed." Saying that, she hugged him tightly with overwhelming emotion. "I finally waited for you." Meanwhile, Fang Ning felt his breathing become heavy, as if something was pressing down on him. Suddenly, a distorted face appeared in his mind, screaming in unbearable pain. Then broken fragments of memories surfaced, including an empty gasoline can. Before his eyes was a place engulfed in flames, the Tianqing orphanage. In that scene, a younger version of Fang Ning appeared. He suddenly gave a sinister smile and turned back to look. The next morning, somewhere else, a blond young man was brushing his teeth. Suddenly, his phone started showing new notifications non-stop. He muttered in confusion, "So many messages this early in the morning?" After reading them, his expression changed instantly. "What? My video second place? A newcomer uploaded a video last night and already reached the top?" Seeing more than 3 million views overnight, he could not believe it. How is this possible? I was supposed to be the most popular one. Annoyed, he rushed into his room to check. I want to see what this guy did to surpass me. 30 minutes later, he raised his head helplessly. I admit defeat. This video is truly amazing, completely on another level. No wonder its popularity exploded so quickly. His annoyance turned into excitement, and he left a comment. Hey everyone, can you make the next part soon? I also want to know what happened to Lian Xiang in the end. After that, he typed a few more lines. When he finished, he laughed. This is truly a hidden master. Brother, let me help increase your fame. A netizen quickly noticed and commented, Everyone, look what I just found. Flying Potato even left a comment too. What kind of newcomer video is this? I have to check it out. Back at Fang Ning's place, he and Zhang Li were still sleeping soundly. Suddenly, his hand touched something soft. Half asleep, he mumbled, "This bun tastes great. This bun is so soft." While talking in his sleep, he unconsciously moved his hand elsewhere. He even squeezed it a few times and muttered happily. At that moment, Zhang Li let out a small sound. That sound woke Fang Ning up. He rubbed his eyes and thought in confusion, was I dreaming? Why did it feel so real? But his hand still had not moved away, making Zhang Li even more embarrassed. Once he fully woke up, he finally understood what was happening. Seeing Zhang Li lying beside him with his hand in the wrong place, his face instantly turned red. Fang Ning quickly pulled his hand back and shouted. The noise also woke Zhang Li. She sat up, rubbed her eyes, and asked, "Husband, are you awake?" The sight before him left Fang Ning so flustered that he almost got a nosebleed. Zhang Li moved closer with concern and asked, "Husband, your nose." He immediately stepped back, covered his nose, and hurriedly said, "Stop, do not come any closer." After saying that, he ran to find some paper. Zhang Li looked at him in confusion and softly called, "Husband?" After taking care of it, he returned and said loudly, "Put your clothes on first." Hearing that, she pouted slightly. Right after that, pale blue rays of light appeared around her body. The light gathered together and transformed into clothes. Once everything was complete, she smiled and said, "Husband, I am dressed now." At that moment, Fang Ning noticed something unusual. Seeing Zhang Li standing under the daylight without any reaction, he froze. Her new outfit made her beauty stand out even more than before. He wiped away his sweat and asked, "Why are you no longer afraid of sunlight?" Zhang Li took out her hairpin and answered, "Because I have recovered part of my strength." Her current outfit was also completely different from before. She tilted her head and asked, "Did you not say long dresses were inconvenient last time, husband?" This made Fang Ning even more confused. He had never heard of a spirit body being able to move under daylight. Could Zhang Li not be a simple spirit body, but another form of existence? While he was still thinking, she rushed over and hugged him happily. "Husband, hug me." Fang Ning awkwardly removed her arms. "Let me answer the phone first." The caller was Director Wang. As soon as he answered, he heard the other side speaking excitedly, "Mr. Fang Ning, our video has reached the top of the trending list." Fang Ning remained calm. "I know." Director Wang continued, "Many advertisers have already contacted us. The placement fee alone for the next video is already tens of thousands of yuan." Fang Ning thought for a moment and replied, "Do not accept them yet. We are still newcomers. Too many ads right after becoming popular will ruin the audience's impression." By the way, Director Wang, do you have experience managing accounts before? Director Wang said he had managed an account before, but it only reached around 20,000 followers, not even close to the fans Fang Ning gained overnight. Hearing that, Fang Ning asked if there were any issues and continued, "I need to focus on creating content, so I want you to handle the account operation. I will handle ideas and filming, while your side manages editing and the account. We will cooperate long-term, share profits, and grow this account together." The proposal left Director Wang stunned. "Long-term cooperation?" He stammered. "We can really do that? We are only a small studio. With your current popularity, I am afraid." Seeing his hesitation, Fang Ning smiled and reassured him. "It is fine. I am very satisfied with our 2 previous collaborations. Besides, I also have a good impression of everyone in your studio." He asked, "So what do you think, Director Wang? You do not want to work with me?" Before he could finish, the other side quickly replied, "Of course we want to." When discussing profit sharing, Director Wang cautiously said, "We can take 20, or even 'tis enough." Fang Ning immediately decided, "I will give you 30. He slowly explained, "Back then, I contacted many companies. The moment they heard the price was only 1,000 yuan, they rejected me without knowing it was all the money I had. When I was about to give up, only your studio responded and treated me with respect and professionalism. I have always wanted to thank you for that." Those words deeply moved Director Wang. He said emotionally, "That was what we should have done. Providing the best experience for customers has always been our principle. Rest assured, we will do everything we can to develop this account." Fang Ning nodded. "All right, send me the contract later. I still have some things to handle. From now on, the account will be managed by you." After ending the call, he checked the video's data. Seeing it had reached the top of the trending list, Fang Ning was shocked. The explosion was even greater than he expected, which explained why he gained so much fear energy. He only wondered how much Zhang Li had recovered. Thinking of that, he turned and called Zhang Li. Hearing his voice, she immediately flew over. "What is it, husband?" Fang Ning asked. "Was the fear energy from yesterday enough? Did it help you recover much?" Zhang Li shook her head. "The energy this time is far weaker than when we met at the Princess Tomb. Full recovery will still take a long time," he asked. "Then how much is still missing?" She answered. "Compared to my peak condition, I am still far away." Fang Ning sighed. "Still that much?" Then he changed the topic. "What about dealing with the monster at Haiyuan Elementary School?" Zhang Li raised all 10 fingers. "I am completely confident." Hearing that, he relaxed. "Good, then let us eat first and rest well. Tonight, we will return to Haiyuan Elementary School." The moment food was mentioned, Zhang Li happily cheered. That night, at the apartment complex, Fang Ning had prepared everything he needed. He opened the window and looked at Zhang Li, glowing faintly. "Xiaozhang, get ready to leave." Before he could finish speaking, her hands were already placed on his shoulders. In an instant, both of them disappeared from their original spot. At the same time, near the school, 2 strangers were secretly watching. The blonde man whispered, "Brother Zhang, are we really here to film a video?" The other man immediately knocked his head and scolded, "Stop talking nonsense. You saw the video reached the top of the hot search, too." He continued analyzing, "The filming location is exactly here. Anyone from Haicheng would recognize it immediately. This is where the attention and traffic are. How can we miss this chance?" The blonde man was still worried, but this place has ghosts. Zhang Xiao put his arm around him and laughed disdainfully. What ghosts? They are all just software effects and filming tricks. There are tons of horror videos like this online. Do you really believe ghosts exist? Just as he finished speaking, a hand suddenly landed on their shoulders from behind, making both of them jump in fear. The person who appeared was actually a young woman named Lin Huang, but the two men were so terrified that they screamed, "A ghost!" Lin Huang crossed her arms and said angrily, "Did we not agree to meet at the entrance of Haiyuan Elementary School? Why are you treating me like a ghost? If you are scared, just go home." Zhang Xiao sighed. "Do not blame us. This place is already deserted, and the cold atmosphere at night makes anyone feel uneasy." The blonde man continued, "That video was clearly prepared with great effort. From the setting to Tutbalta's production effects, everything was high quality. We came here with nothing. How can we compete with them?" Seeing him wanting to give up, Lin Huang immediately slapped him lightly and shouted, "You are really stupid. Where would we get money to build sets or make effects? We came here mainly to take advantage of the popularity." Lin Huang quickly made a plan. How about naming it Exposing the Truth Behind the Trending Video at Haiyuan Elementary School? Hearing that, Zhang Xiao immediately gave a thumbs up. "Brilliant. No wonder you have the most followers in our group." After finishing the discussion, she shouted, "All right, stop flattering me. Let us go." At that moment, Mao Xing suddenly changed expression and hurriedly said, "Wait, listen carefully. I think there is a sound behind us." Sure enough, two figures slowly appeared and walked toward them from behind. Seeing that scene, the two men immediately panicked and screamed, wanting to run away. As both of them grabbed onto her, Lin Huang angrily shouted, "Let go of me." Meanwhile, the two people who appeared were Fang Ning and Guang Li. Zhang Xiao awkwardly scratched his head. "It is late at night, and this place is so deserted. Someone suddenly appearing scared us a little." Lin Huang turned around and smiled apologetically. "Do not mind them. My friends are just a little timid." Then she asked, "Are you two locals living nearby?" Fang Ning replied, "Yes. What about the three of you?" Zhang Xiao introduced himself. "We are vloggers here to explore Haiyuan Elementary School, which is very popular online. I am Zhang Xiao. My social media account is called Flying Potato." Mao Xing also spoke up. "I am Mao Xing, his partner." Lin Huang continued, "And I am Lin Huang, their childhood friend. I currently make content about food travel and outdoor experiences." At that moment, Mao Xing recognized Fang Ning and was shocked. "Wait, are you not the person ranked first on the trending list?" Seeing Zhang Xiao did not understand, he explained, "He is the owner of that top trending video. Is that not why we came here after watching his video?" Realizing they had met the real person, Lin Huang became extremely excited. "Your video was amazing. I already followed you." She continued excitedly, "Can you sign an autograph for me? I cannot believe I met you here. Oh right, this older sister also appeared in your video. Are you two lovers?" Fang Ning answered awkwardly. "She is." Before he could finish, Zhang Li lightly pinched him, forcing him to change his words. "This is my wife." After that, Fang Ning seriously warned them, "If you want to live stream or record videos at Haiyuan Elementary School, you should come back during the day." Zhang Xiao asked in confusion, "Why? Is this your private territory where others are not allowed to film?" Fang Ning shook his head. "No, I am just saying there is truly something unusual here. Entering at night is very dangerous. It could even cost you your lives." Hearing that, Zhang Xiao still did not believe him. "Dangerous enough to lose our lives. Do you think we do not know? Your video clearly used special effects. If this place was really that terrifying, how did you escape last time? And why did you come back today? Are you afraid we will steal your popularity?" Fang Ning did not explain further. He only shouted loudly, causing a powerful gust of wind to suddenly appear and force everyone to narrow their eyes. "If you do not want trouble, leave now. I have already said everything I needed to say. Whether you believe it or not is up to you." After opening his eyes, Mao Xing was still confused. That wind just now was really strange. But what surprised him even more was that Fang Ning and Zhang Li had disappeared from sight. Did they already go inside? Could they be here to film the next part of the video? Hearing that, Zhang Xiao immediately became excited. "That is right. If we secretly follow them and record entire process of making the video, then upload it online, would we not become famous too?" Mao Xing quickly tried to stop him. "Brother Zhang, forget it. They already warned us. Maybe there really is something inside. Besides, doing this is not right." However, Lin Huang was already overwhelmed by curiosity. "Do not overthink it. I also want to know how they make their videos. A chance like this does not come often." Mao Xing did not want to stay alone, so he helplessly followed. "Hey, wait for me." But the moment the three stepped through the school gate, they immediately felt like they had entered a completely different space. A strange door appeared before them. Meanwhile, Fang Ning walked forward while thinking, I hope those three listened and left. If a fight happens later, I may not have enough strength to protect them. He turned to Zhang Li and asked, How is it? Can you sense that guy's aura? Zhang Li pointed toward the classrooms above, the same place they had visited before. Fang Ning nodded with satisfaction. Good. Start recording. Zhang Li carried the equipment in front, while Fang Ning followed closely behind and spoke. Everyone, I have returned to Haiyuan Elementary School. 3 days ago, I encountered a mysterious creature here. I was forced to retreat back then, but Lian Shang's soul is still trapped inside this school. Today, I have returned to bring her out. That is why I came back today. However, after observing for a while, he found nothing unusual and wondered, where is it hiding? At that moment, Zhang Li's voice echoed in his mind. Husband, it is here. He continued facing the camera. Based on my guess, this item once belonged to Lian Xiang and has a close connection with her. Through it, we can track her location. But before he could touch it, a blood-red wave of soul energy suddenly shot out. At the same time, an angry roar echoed. You dare come back, human? A terrifying demon appeared, with twisted ghost heads growing on its arm. It sneered. Since you came here, do not expect to leave. The barrier is already set. There is no escape. Unlike the demon's aggression, Fang Ning remained calm. When the demon threw a punch, he immediately countered, Is this really all you have? Their fists collided in midair, creating a powerful shockwave. Right after that, one of the demon's arms was shattered instantly. It screamed in fear, In just a few days, you became this strong? Were you hiding your true strength before? That is right, you are a soul hunter. Fang Ning laughed mockingly. I did not get stronger. My strength has always been the same. Since you cannot defeat me, you start making excuses? After all these years, you still have not improved at all? His words struck directly at its pain. The demon trembled with rage. Damn you, how dare you insult me? At that moment, strange changes began appearing on its body. A black armor slowly covered its entire body. In this new form, it coldly said, You think you have won or do not celebrate too soon. Its aura exploded. A huge amount of energy gathered in its palm and condensed into a terrifying glowing sphere. It roared, No one can separate me from Lian Xiang. No one. Not even a soul hunter like you. Feeling the power inside that attack, Fang Ning became cautious. Could this be its true soul technique? Meanwhile, on the other side, Zhang Xiao had already started recording. Facing the camera, he introduced himself. Hello everyone, I am Flying Potato. Right now, we are inside the main building of Haiyuan Elementary School. Everyone has probably heard the rumors about this place. Today, we came here to. Before he could finish, a furious voice came from inside. You dare come back, human? Right after that, a shocking explosion erupted. A part of the building was destroyed by the energy sphere. Seeing that scene, all three of them were completely stunned. Zhang Xiao collapsed to the ground and tremblingly pointed ahead. It is him, the person we just met. At that moment, Fang Ning had been blasted out of the building and was falling from above. Lin Huang turned pale and screamed, That is the 5th floor. Falling from there means certain death. At the critical moment, Zhang Li rushed out from above. She caught Fang Ning in midair just in time. In the blink of an eye, Zhang Li landed on the ground with Fang Ning in her arms. The sight left everyone nearby frozen, as if they had witnessed something beyond the normal world. Meanwhile, the recording phone remained floating in the air, continuing to film under the control of soul power. Mao Xing trembled like he had fallen into an ice pit and stuttered. Brother Zhang, did I see that right? They just flew, didn't they? Zhang Xiao was no better, but he still forced himself to stay calm. Flew? No way. It must be a wire. Movies use those all the time. But before he finished speaking, a huge shadow appeared from the hole in the upper floor. Without warning, the demon charged down like a falling meteor. The ground shook violently as countless rocks and debris exploded everywhere. A powerful pressure swept across the area, blowing everyone away like they were caught in a storm. Mao Xing was thrown aside. Looking at the demon before him, his face turned pale. This definitely is not a wire. What kind of wire could pull a monster like that? While everyone was still frozen, Lin Huang was the first to recover. She grabbed the collars of the two men beside her and shouted, What are you standing there for? Do you want to die? Run. But before they could get far, a roar that shook the entire space came from behind. No one leaves this place today. A strange laughter followed. Anyone who dares touch my Lian Xiang must die. Hearing the name Lian Xiang, The three of them were confused and shocked, but they had no time to think, because the entire school was suddenly covered by a massive glowing barrier. Mao Xing rushed forward to break the barrier, but the moment he touched it, he was thrown back. He panicked and shouted, "Brother Zhang, we are trapped. We cannot get out." Zhang Xiao was both angry and unwilling to give up. He charged toward the barrier with full force. "Move aside. I refuse to believe this thing cannot be broken." In the end, no one knew whether the barrier was too strong or Zhang Xiao was simply too stubborn. After the impact, he was sent flying backward, his body curled up like a cooked shrimp. He fell heavily onto the ground, trembling from head to toe with a terrified expression. He muttered, "It is over. This time it is really over. If I had listened earlier and not followed them inside, I would not be doomed like this." Lin Huang looked back with a cold gaze but tried to stay calm. "What is the point of saying that now? Our only hope is that he defeats that monster. Otherwise, none of us are leaving." Standing in the schoolyard, Fang Ning stayed in a defensive stance while analyzing the situation. A bad feeling rose in his heart. Something is wrong. This guy is not as simple as I thought. What was that attack? A shock wave, an impact wave, or compressed air? Before he could find the answer, the demon launched a violent attack and roared, "Die, all of you." Fang Ning immediately circulated spiritual energy, moved sideways, and barely avoided the terrifying strike. Without stopping, the demon gathered strength and stomped the ground, leaving behind a deep crater. Right after that, it charged forward like a storm, throwing a massive punch straight at him. With no way to dodge, Fang Ning could only raise his arm to block. But at the moment the punch was about to land, lightning suddenly erupted around its arm. A warning instinct flashed through his mind. Blocking directly would only end in destruction. Without hesitation, he used all his strength to retreat. Although he avoided the direct hit, the lightning still brushed past him and sent him sliding across the ground. A sharp pain came from his shoulder, making him frown as he held the injury. He thought seriously, this guy has power capable of crushing everything. As expected, he is extremely difficult to deal with. Seeing his opponent still alive, the demon became even more furious. It charged forward while shouting, "Let me see how many more times you can endure." Knowing he could not keep defending, Fang Ning immediately shouted, "Le-er." Zhang Li simply replied and transformed into a streak of lightning. She waved her arm lightly, causing cracks in space to appear one after another. Countless glowing chains shot out and wrapped tightly around the demon. The giant fist stopped right in front of Fang Ning, shaking violently but unable to move forward. Completely restrained, the demon let out furious roars, "Damn it, I want to kill you." Fang Ning let out a breath of relief, and the tension on his face faded. The corner of his mouth raised provocatively. "Then kill me. Am I not standing right in front of you? Try it." Behind him, Zhang Li continued increasing the power of the chains. Under that pressure, the demon was forced lower and became completely unable to escape. It screamed in rage, "Damn brat, release me. I have to kill you." Ah. Ignoring the screams, Fang Ning slowly walked closer and gently patted its head. His voice was calm but full of mockery. "Do you think I am stupid? Releasing you would be like handing my life to a mad dog. Calm down. You hid yourself very well. But if my guess is correct, you are the final principal of Haiyuan Elementary School, the one who committed suicide in his office, right?" After finishing his sentence, Fang Ning sent a strand of spiritual energy into the demon's forehead. The huge body slowly disappeared, returning to its original form. Fang Ning's expression became even colder. "Shang, right? Tell me, was Lian Shang's death caused by you?" The man's body started trembling violently, and his broken voice replied, "No, it was not me. It was not my fault. If she had not run away back then, I would not have had to do it. I never wanted to kill her." But soon, his expression twisted. Madness filled his eyes, and a strange smile appeared. "It was her fault. Why did she run? Was staying with me not good enough? Everything was her fault. You cannot blame me." Before he could finish, Fang Ning lost all restraint. He rushed forward, punched him hard in the face, and shouted, "You bastard!" His anger exploded as he grabbed the man's collar and said through gritted teeth, "She was only a child. You were already old enough to be her father. She still had a beautiful life ahead of her, yet you killed her for no reason. Do you have no children? Do you understand how much pain her parents suffered after losing the child they loved most?" The man looked unable to endure any longer, shaking his head in panic. "Stop, please do not say any more." Fang Ning ignored him, forming a bright spirit energy sphere and placing it before his forehead. His cold voice sounded like a final judgment. "Where is Lian Shang? Tell me, and I will give you a quick death." but the man suddenly raised his head and screamed like a madman, "You want to take Lian Xiang away? Never. I will not let you take her away. Absolutely not." Right after that, a thick wave of dark demonic energy erupted from his body. The terrifying power instantly shattered Zhang Li's chains. Knocked back by the impact, she shouted, "Be careful, he has unleashed his power." Before anyone could react, the man charged forward with a crazed aura and grabbed Fang Ning tightly around the waist. A deafening explosion shook the entire space. Fang Ning was blasted away like a cannonball, crashing through a wall and leaving a huge crater. Extreme pain overwhelmed him, leaving him unable to speak. Only faint groans escaped his throat. Struggling to stand, Fang Ning held his aching back and staggered forward. Seeing the principal charging at him like a wild beast, he gasped and sent a message through his divine sense to Zhang Li. "What the hell did that old man just do, Lier?" Zhang Li appeared beside him, keeping her eyes locked on the enraged enemy ahead. She replied through the message, "I do not know either, but it seems his cultivation suddenly increased." At that moment, the principal suddenly changed direction, slammed his fist into the ground, and roared, "No one can separate me and Lian Xiang, no one." Beneath Fang Ning, countless lightning spheres appeared. Their blue light flashed brightly before rushing toward him. Fang Ning barely dodged in time, but the explosion's shockwave still sent him flying away. His body crashed and as pain spread everywhere. He cursed inwardly, "Damn it, he really got stronger. Did I get too confident and cause this? Where is the villain who dies from talking too much? Why is he not following the script?" At the critical moment, Zhang Li appeared in time, grabbed his arm, and summoned chains to bind the principal again. However, the opponent's dark purple demonic energy was far too overwhelming. The chains were knocked back the moment they touched him. The principal raised his head and laughed wildly, "Ha ha ha." Then he rushed forward with a punch carrying terrifying power. When the attack aimed at Zhang Li, Fang Ning instantly stepped in front of her without hesitation. At the same time, another lightning sphere exploded, blasting him far away. His body dragged across the ground, leaving a long trail of dust behind. Zhang Li quickly flew over. Seeing Fang Ning covered in wounds, with torn clothes and blood all over his body, she could not hide her worry. "Husband, are you all right?" Fang Ning wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and calmly replied, "I am fine. Enter my body first. A smaller defense range will make this easier to handle." After Zhang Li merged into his body, Fang Ning forced himself up and continued running. Despite the pain, his mind kept calculating, how did he level up so ridiculously fast? Fighting him head-on means certain death. I need another way. Behind him, the principal continued chasing without slowing down. While pursuing, he formed hand seals and shouted, "You will never leave this place." Countless lightning spheres appeared again, following Fang Ning's every move and forcing him to constantly change directions. After observing for a while, a thought suddenly appeared in Fang Ning's mind. The entire place was sealed by the barrier, but the principal's office might still have a weakness. If he wanted to turn things around, that was his only chance. With that thought, he immediately rushed upstairs, leaving behind endless explosions shaking the building. However, the principal seemed to have predicted his plan. A wave of lightning spheres instantly blocked the path. Seeing this, Fang Ning frowned deeply. This is bad. There is nowhere left to dodge. But stopping now means losing the only chance to move forward. In the end, he decided to risk everything and muttered, "Fortune favors the brave." After saying that, he charged straight toward the 3 lightning spheres, blocking the way. His figure twisted through the air as he skillfully slipped through the tiny gap between the 3 spheres. But right after he passed, the 3 spheres resonated and exploded together. The terrifying shockwave threw Fang Ning into the hallway, leaving him almost powerless. He gasped heavily while looking back and secretly felt relieved. It was extremely dangerous, but at least he survived. Lian Xiang only appears when someone reaches that strange energy source, and every clue points to the principal's office. She might still be there. With that thought, Fang Ning rushed toward the room ahead without hesitation. Inside was the familiar desk and the large hole in the center, constantly releasing a strange demonic aura. Just then, a chilling laugh came from behind. The principal entered with a twisted face full of madness, raising a sinister smile. "Ha ha ha, you cannot escape. No one is allowed to ruin my life with Lian Xiang. No one. You, the 3 little demons outside, and the woman inside your body, all of you will die here." Ignoring his screams, Fang Ning calmly walked toward the desk. His eyes were filled with confidence as he smirked. "Lian Xiang, if I am right, you hid her here, did you not?" The pride on the principal's face instantly disappeared. His body froze, and his expression turned stiff as if Fang Ning had exposed his deepest secret. Fang Ning did not care. He raised his hand, preparing to strike the comb on the desk. The principal immediately shouted, "No." But Fang Ning completely ignored him. His fist slammed down with immense force. The impact shook the entire room violently. From the comb, a glowing formation suddenly appeared, and strange light quickly filled the space. Fang Ning smiled coldly and said, "Lian Xiang disappeared 10 years ago, and the last place she was seen was this principal's office. I also encountered her spirit here. Every clue points to the same answer. There is a hidden space inside this office, and this desk is the key to opening it." Hearing this, the principal went completely insane. Demonic energy erupted around him as he screamed, "So what if you figured it out? You still can never enter. Die." With that, he unleashed all his power and threw a devastating punch at Fang Ning. Jiang Li immediately appeared and created a green barrier to block the attack. However, after his power surged, the principal's strength had far surpassed before. Jiang Li's shield only lasted for a moment before shattering. Taking the chance, he condensed a massive lightning sphere, raised it above his hand, and laughed proudly. "It is over." The terrifying sphere shot straight toward Fang Ning. At the most critical moment, Jiang Li ignored her own safety and rushed forward to protect him. A world-shaking explosion erupted as the lightning sphere exploded like a giant firework. Thick smoke covered everything. The principal laughed in delight, his eyes filled with satisfaction. "Ha ha ha, it is finally over." But as the smoke slowly cleared, his eyes widened in horror. In front of him, Fang Ning was still standing, surrounded by spirit energy. In his arms was Jiang Li, safely pulled away from the explosion. The principal shouted in disbelief, "Impossible! How did you escape?" Without answering, Fang Ning carried Jiang Li and rushed straight into the formation. A faint shadow appeared, and the two of them vanished into the hidden space. Inside was a dark and freezing prison, covered everywhere with strange chains. Deep inside the dungeon, a small girl was hanging in the air, weak and motionless. Hearing the movement, the girl slowly raised her head. When she recognized the person who arrived, her eyes instantly lit up. "Brother Lian Xiang," softly called out, her voice trembling with joy. Fang Ning gently placed Jiang Li down and quickly walked toward the girl. A smile appeared on his face. "I told you I would help you. I am here now." He gently touched the lock holding the girl. With a cracking sound, the lock instantly shattered into pieces. After being freed, Lian Xiang could barely stand. Luckily, Fang Ning caught her in time. Just then, the principal suddenly rushed inside. Demonic energy surged around him as he shouted, "Stop! Let her go now." Fang Ning remained calm. He moved Lian Xiang behind him for protection and stared coldly at his opponent. "I came here today to destroy you. Then I will take Lian Xiang away from this place forever." Hearing that, the cruelty on the principal's face disappeared, replaced by a terrifying gentleness. He slowly reached toward Lian Xiang and spoke softly, "Lian Xiang, be good. Come back to your teacher. I will protect you." But the girl's reaction was completely different from what he expected. Her body trembled as she quickly hid behind Fang Ning, her eyes filled with fear. Seeing this, the principal's expression froze. His lips trembled as he lowered his voice. "Lian Xiang, you actually chose him?" The forced smile on his face quickly vanished. The veins on his face bulged, and his clenched teeth made a cracking sound. The demonic energy around him exploded violently, shaking the entire space with his rage. He roared like a beast driven mad. "You actually chose him." This outburst was far more terrifying than before. The thick black demonic energy turned into a storm, sweeping away everything in its path. Fang Ning and Jiang Li were forced back, closing their eyes to avoid being injured by the violent aura. Outside the hidden space, the group watching still waited. Mao Xing asked curiously, "They just rushed inside and we heard a huge explosion. Why is it so quiet now? Did the battle already end?" Zhang Xiao swallowed nervously and replied softly, "If that elder won, we are safe. But if that demon won, none of us would survive." Just then, Lin Huang's expression suddenly changed. He pointed to a corner and shouted, "Look over there. Something is coming out." Right after his warning, a massive wave of demonic energy suddenly burst outward. Everyone only had time to cough a few times before collapsing to the ground, one after another, completely losing consciousness. The principal became more and more insane. The demonic energy around him surged wildly as he screamed, "Lian Xiang, no one can separate us. No one. If you want to leave me, then die with them and stay here forever." Jiang Li struggled against the terrifying pressure from him. Her breathing became heavier and her face turned pale. She quickly sent a message to Fang Ning. Husband, the black mist around him is strange. I sense a formation draining our power non-stop. I cannot hold on much longer. Think of a way quickly. Fang Ning immediately turned and asked, Lian Xiang, do you know where his weakness is? The girl quickly nodded. His chest. Right now, he has no soul power or protection left. But Lian Xiang hesitated, looking worriedly at the man. There are terrifying shockwave spheres around him. It is almost impossible to get through. Hearing that, an image suddenly appeared in Fang Ning's mind. It was the moment when he barely escaped the explosion while carrying Jiang Li. That feeling returned, sharp and precise beyond normal limits. Fang Ning's eyes lit up, and his determination grew stronger. It was not impossible. As long as he recreated that state and moved fast enough, he could do it. In the next moment, his figure blurred into an afterimage and rushed toward the principal at incredible speed. Excitement surged in his heart. Yes, this is it. This is the soul skill that belongs to me. Seeing Fang Ning approach on his own, the principal showed a look of contempt. He controlled countless lightning spheres and sent them forward while shouting proudly, seeking death. But Fang Ning's speed exceeded his expectations. Before the lightning spheres could lock onto him, he had already changed positions repeatedly, smoothly dodging every attack. When he reached the closest distance, he gathered all his strength into one punch and struck directly at the principal's abdomen. The violent spirit energy pierced through the principal's body, creating a powerful shockwave that caused a sharp explosion behind him. Fang Ning roared, "Let us see who dies first." The principal's body collapsed. His eyes widened in disbelief as blood flowed from the corner of his mouth. He stammered, "How is this possible?" But at that moment, a massive lightning sphere suddenly flew toward him. It exploded directly on his body. Fang Ning could only retreat and watch as the explosion swallowed the principal completely. As the smoke slowly cleared, the demonic energy around the principal began fading away. Kneeling on the ground with a huge hole through his body, his eyes grew dimmer. He whispered, "Yanner, do not go. Do not leave your father, it was all my fault." His trembling hand slowly reached toward Lian Xiang, his voice filled with regret. "Lian Xiang, I am sorry." After those words, his body completely disappeared, along with the final trace of demonic energy, leaving behind a heavy silence. The moment the principal vanished, a massive stream of memories escaped and rushed into Fang Ning's mind like a flood. Meanwhile, Jiang Li remained completely calm, even leisurely enjoying some food. Inside his consciousness, Fang Ning felt countless fragmented memories slowly merging together. He said quietly, "Lier, it seems someone else was controlling the principal behind the scenes. Moreover, the reasons behind his actions was not exactly what I thought. In the past, he lived a happy family life with his gentle wife and his adorable daughter named Yan but a disaster 10 years ago destroyed everything. In that car accident, he was trapped in the driver's seat by steel bars piercing through his body. His wife and daughter were thrown from the vehicle and died right before his eyes. At his moment of greatest despair, a mysterious person appeared before him. That person slowly manipulated his mind and promised that his daughter could be revived through a special ritual. In his unbearable grief, he completely believed the promise. And you, Lian Xiang, became the chosen sacrifice for that resurrection plan. But from beginning to end, it was all a deception. Those rituals were actually meant to destroy both his soul and his daughter's. Yan Er's soul had already vanished when the accident happened. When he learned the truth, he completely broke down. His suicide in the principal's office was not to complete the resurrection ritual, but because he could no longer endure his own suffering. "Brother, do you know where my parents are now? Xiang misses them so much." Fang Ning lowered his head, remembering his investigation into Lian Xiang. After a long silence, he sadly replied, "After leaving this place before, I called the number on their missing person notice, but no one answered. Later, the police told me that your parents had passed away. Perhaps the pain and despair they carried for years caused their health to fail." Lian Xiang stood silently for a long time before lowering her head. Her soft voice sounded, "Thank you. You and Sister Li are my benefactors." Fang Ning gently placed his hand on her shoulder and said warmly, "Do not call me your benefactor, just call me Fang Ning." Suddenly, Lian Xiang's figure began fading away. A painful groan escaped, and her small body trembled repeatedly. Fang Ning's expression changed instantly as he shouted, "Lian Xiang, what is happening?" Lian Xiang smiled gently, her voice as light as the wind. "I am sorry, brother Fang Ning. I think I am about to disappear. My resentment was never strong. I survived until now because of the principal's soul power. Now that he is gone, that source of strength has disappeared too. Do not worry about me. Being freed from this place was what I always wished for. Trying to keep her smile despite her fading voice, she continued, although I really wanted to see the outside world one more time, at least I will no longer be controlled to hurt others. Thank you, Brother Fang Ning. Fang Ning immediately turned to Zhang Li with a worried expression. Li is there any way to save her? Zhang Li thought for a moment before answering. We need an object connected to her as a medium, and a large amount of spirit energy to maintain her soul. Without hesitation, Fang Ning took out the wooden comb and held it forward. What about this? After saying that, he immediately threw the comb toward her. The comb was surrounded by bright green light, but when it touched Lianxiang's soul, it still could not stop her from fading away. Fang Ning gritted his teeth and cursed softly. Damn it, why is it useless? Lianxiang smiled gently, her eyes filled only with gratitude. She softly said, It is all right, Brother Fang Ning. Thank you for everything. If there is another life, I hope we can meet again. After those words, her small figure slowly merged into the void, leaving only a faint mist drifting away. Fang Ning stood frozen, pain clearly visible in his eyes. The wooden comb fell from his hand. Fang Ning lowered his head and repeatedly punched the ground, each strike accompanied by a choked cry. I promised I would take you outside. I am sorry, Lianxiang. I broke my promise. Tears kept falling onto the cold ground. A few drops accidentally landed on the wooden comb beside him. Suddenly, the comb released a faint glow and automatically absorbed the spirit energy Fang Ning had once infused into it. The sight stunned him, and he immediately raised his head in surprise. Before him, Zhang Li was using her secret technique with all her strength, slowly absorbing Lianxiang's soul into the comb. The female ghost reached her hand toward Fang Ning. In her palm was the familiar comb, with Lianxiang's soul resting inside in a peaceful sleep. Fang Ning quickly took it, but the soul disappeared immediately after appearing, making him confused. What happened? Zhang Li slowly replied, If you want to keep her here, I found a way. I separated part of my own original soul power for her, combined with the remaining soul power left after the principle vanished. With that, she can continue to exist. My soul power is greatly weakened now. I need time to recover, so I cannot come out yet. The comb contains a small space where she can nourish her soul for now. As she finished speaking, Zhang Li looked exhausted, but right after that, she suddenly pinched Fang Ning's arm hard. He jumped from the pain. Before he could understand, her serious expression disappeared, replaced by her familiar stubborn attitude. I can save her, but remember this clearly. In your eyes, there should only be me. Fang Ning held his aching arm and shouted, It hurts. Stop pinching me. She was only 13 when she died. Do not overthink it. I do not have such strange interests. I only see her as a younger sister, all right? After saying that, he gently held Zhang Li's hand. The action immediately made her face turn red. Fang Ning smiled softly. Thank you, Li. Zhang Li said nothing, but the stubbornness in her eyes softened greatly. On the way back, Zhang Li suddenly asked curiously, Fang Ning, what was that terrifying speed earlier? Did you awaken your soul technique? Fang Ning nodded. Yes. This ability is probably related to time and space. In an extremely short moment, I can feel time slowing down thousands of times, observe everything around me, then adjust my body to reach the optimal speed. It feels similar to the time bullet skill in games. Hearing that, Zhang Li tilted her head in confusion. Time bullet? Fang Ning looked at her and nodded seriously. Yes, but its official name is One Dream Thousand Years. Zhang Li softly repeated the name, a thoughtful look appearing in her eyes. When they returned to the school grounds, they found the three people still unconscious on the ground. Fang Ning sighed helplessly. I told them not to follow us. Now look at them, sleeping here. He turned to Zhang Li and asked, Li, were they affected by the battle? Zhang Li observed for a while before replying. It seems the formation took away several years of their life force. Luckily, they are still young, so the impact is not too serious. At most, they will have headaches for a while, after waking up. Hearing that, Fang Ning finally relaxed. That is good, but we cannot leave them here. Taking them outside the school gate will be safer and prevent the remaining formation energy from affecting them. The two quickly carried all three people outside and placed them neatly at the school entrance. After that, they returned. Near dawn, the two turned into two streams of green light and returned home. The moment he fell onto the bed, Fang Ning complained tiredly, Ever since I met you, my entire sleep schedule has been ruined. Zhang Li laughed happily, then suddenly removed her outer clothes and jumped onto the bed excitedly. Time to sleep. Fang Ning immediately turned red and shouted in panic, Stop right there. After saying that, he started searching through the closet. He took out another blanket, spread it on the bed, and said seriously, "One blanket each. This will be more comfortable." Zhongli pouted unhappily, but Fang Ning ignored her. He pulled his own blanket over himself and casually said, "I am sleeping first." With no other choice, Zhongli hugged her blanket and lay beside him. Fang Ning closed his eyes and thought in relief, "Finally, I can rest for a while." Early the next morning, outside Haiyuan Elementary School, Lin Hua let out a faint groan. She slowly opened her eyes. The moment she saw her surroundings clearly, she became fully awake. A few seconds later, she raised her hand and slapped the two people beside her, shouting, "Wake up! Hey, stop sleeping!" Mao Xing and Zhong Xiao slowly woke up, still half asleep, and asked, "Is breakfast ready?" Lin Hua immediately became furious. "Breakfast? We almost died. Wake up and focus." Standing outside the elementary school gate, Lin Hua stared inside. A mix of frustration and confusion kept rising in her heart. She wondered how they escaped and what exactly happened last night. Suddenly, an important thought flashed through her mind, and her expression changed instantly. Excitement and unease appeared at the same time. She quickly turned to the two beside her and shouted, "Where is the video we recorded last night? Take it out and watch it now." Mao Xing immediately checked his phone and said after seeing the screen, "Found it. The video is still here. Strange, I remember holding my phone when I passed out last night. How did it end up safely inside my pocket?" Ignoring him, Lin Hua urged impatiently, "Stop talking and open the video now." The three quickly focused on the recording. Inside was everything they had captured before losing consciousness. After watching for a while, Mao Xing suddenly looked terrified and shouted, "Could it be that the beggar sect elder really saved us?" Lin Hua was also shocked and nodded slightly. "It must have been him. There is no one else." Unlike the other two, Zhong Xiao laughed excitedly. "Hey, this time we recorded something incredible. With a little editing and uploading online, it will definitely become popular." While everyone was excited, Lin Hua fell into deep thought. If everything in the video was real, then all those previous times were not special effects. That beggar sect elder was truly fighting evil spirits. But what was his purpose? And what about that wife? Could she really be a ghost princess from an ancient tomb? In the afternoon, sunlight slipped through the curtains, and Fang Ning slowly opened his eyes. Lying on the bed and looking at the faint light entering the room, he sighed inwardly. He had slept all the way until afternoon again. A strange emptiness filled his heart. He turned his head. He saw Zhongli still sleeping peacefully, holding tightly onto his leg. An irresistible feeling rose in Fang Ning's heart, and he slowly reached out, wanting to touch her face. But the sudden ringing of his phone broke the peaceful atmosphere. He stopped, picked up the phone, and answered, "Hello." From the other end, Director Wang's excited voice rang out, "Fang Ning, our video has reached 90 million views." Fang Ning waved his hand instinctively and replied casually, "Oh, that is pretty good." Hearing that, Director Wang immediately raised his voice, "Pretty good? Brother Fang Ning, you are too humble. Your video has entered the top 10 most viewed rankings. Do you know? The entire internet is buzzing because of you." Suddenly, Director Wang heard Fang Ning curse, followed by the sound of rushing water. He asked in surprise, "Brother Fang Ning, what happened?" On Fang Ning's side, he was in an awkward situation. Somehow, Zhongli had pushed aside all the covers and was now holding him tightly. Trying to stay calm, he replied, "No, nothing happened." But inside, he complained helplessly, "How am I supposed to guard against this?" Seeing Zhongli still asleep, she mumbled, "Husband, so soft." Fang Ning silently decided that after earning enough money, he would rent a bigger place and buy more sleepwear for her. It took him a lot of effort before he finally escaped Zhongli's embrace. After reaching the living room, Fang Ning finally relaxed and continued the call. "Director Wang, please continue." Director Wang excitedly announced, "Right, the platform just sent us an invitation. They want us to join. The entry fee is 50,000 yuan, and our future videos will receive priority recommendations. With the current view count, our share will be at least 50,000 yuan. 50,000? What are we waiting for? Sign it now." Fang Ning's heart immediately stirred. This amount was already far beyond what he earned in an entire year before. After ending the call, Fang Ning leaned against the chair and let out a long breath. Everything that happened recently appeared in his mind. In just a few days since meeting Zhongli, his life had completely changed. Money, soul power, spirit techniques, soul bodies, and all those mysterious things he never thought he would encounter. He quietly thought that everything started because of her. But remembering their first meeting still made his scalp go numb. Now she had become an irreplaceable part of his life. He had to help her recover her lost memories. Whether she chose to leave or stay after regaining everything, he would respect her decision. To restore Zhang Li's memories and power, he needed to gather more soul power or fear energy. Continuing to make ghost videos was still the most effective method. The footage from yesterday only needed some editing before sending it to Wang Sanhe. As for other sources of soul power, he probably needed to search for more urban legends online. Maybe he could find clues related to soul bodies or spirit generals. Thinking that, he decided to wash his face first and plan the next step. But the moment he turned on the faucet, Fang Ning's expression instantly froze. The liquid flowing from the faucet was no longer clear like normal water, but dark red like fresh blood. Fang Ning stared in shock and blurted out, "What the hell is this?" He immediately turned the faucet shut, but no matter how hard he tried, the flow would not stop. His frustration quickly turned into panic as he shouted, "Damn it! Why will it not stop?" Just then, a horrifying sight entered his eyes, freezing all his emotions. Fang Ning slowly raised his head and looked at the mirror. The reflection was not his own face, but a rotten face